604, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you, JP producing, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. We're starting you off at 66 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. And yes, I heard that forecast. I hope you did as well. Get ready for it, y'all. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit later on this hour. We've got a busy show for you lined up. We got, just an awesome Friday lined up for you, getting you ready for football over the weekend. Yes, football is back after a bye week for LSU, and a whole lot of scuttlebutt and movement off the field. It'd be nice to actually see some football being played. No guests in the first hour. We are news heavy in the first hour. Second hour, Scott Ballard from the LSU Board of Supervisors is going to join us. Patty G going to join us. We'll have Chris Blair talking some football at 8:15. We'll have Chris's Specialty Foods, not the same Chris, for Foodie Friday, as we're actually looking ahead to Thanksgiving this week. Right now, though, let's start you off. Top stories and trending.
Number 5.
The Capital Area Transit System, a.k.a. CAT, is going to waive all route fares on November 15th to assist those traveling to the polls on Election Day. Riders can board any bus on Election Day free of charge throughout the service area. Regular routes and schedules, though, do apply.
Number 4.
The trial of Desmond Carter, one of the 4 men charged in connection with the Madison Brooks rape case, is now scheduled for August 17th of next year. Carter faces charges of first and third degree rape. He's one of 4 men arrested in the case of Madison Brooks. Carter was part of a group accused of raping Brooks in the backseat of a vehicle before they dropped her off at a subdivision where she wandered into a roadway, was hit and killed by a rideshare driver.
Number 3.
Attorney General Liz Murrell filed a joint complaint with the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality and the U.S. Department of Justice against Smitty's Supply following an explosion and fire at their Roseland plant. The complaint claims that Smitty's cleanup and oil spill prevention efforts in the Tangipahoa River were, quote, inadequate. Additionally, the complaint noted that Smitty's violated the Clean Water Act even before the explosion, saying the company had numerous permit violations.
Number 2.
Mayor President Sid Edwards named Christelle Slaughter as the permanent chief administrative officer for East Baton Rouge Parish, first woman to hold the position in 4 decades. Slaughter had previously been serving as the interim CAO.
Number 1.
All right, look out for it over the weekend, y'all. We are going to have overnight lows in the 30s. Per our news partners at WBRZ, mild start to the weekend, then a major cold front is going to move through the region early Sunday morning. Passing showers possible along with the cold front. Biggest impact is going to be the drop in temperatures and breezy conditions that follow the front. Temps will immediately drop after the passage with lows in the 50s. Thermometers will try to climb during the day, but north winds of 10 to 20 miles per hour will keep most of us in the 60s and then down into the 30s overnight into Monday morning. Ow.
All right. Well, a federal judge in Rhode Island ordered the Trump administration Thursday to find the money to fully fund SNAP benefits for November.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm losing track of how this works. Like a federal judge in Rhode Island can now dictate for the rest of the nation?
That's how it is, man.
Okay.
Yeah. District Judge John McConnell told Justice Department lawyers that it is simply unacceptable. So.
Oh, good job, John.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate the help.
Right.
Just end the filibuster. Get this thing over with.
Yep.
Get back to negotiating, but get back to passing the clean bill and start talking about the other things that matter.
Yeah.
And we're seeing more and more. You know what? I didn't want to get into it this morning, but did you see the bird flu reports?
I didn't.
As birds are making their migration south, there's reports of bird flu, and it could be impacting Thanksgiving. And there's less research being done this year to track where the bird flu is headed because the governmental scientists go home. And just add it to the list, boss.
Right.
Add it to the list. Our government does a lot on a day-to-day basis. Shutting the whole thing down sucks.
It does. Indeed. You know, it doesn't suck.
What?
Happy's Running Club. They recently completed their 900th run. That's a lot of miles and a lot of Tuesdays.
Yeah. So they run right past here, right behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they run right on the way to North Bullet. Like they'll cross over behind the building here, loop right around us,
That's
and
awesome.
then head on up to North Boulevard, then up that stupid over. I shouldn't say stupid overpass. It's a very valuable overpass.
Right.
But if you're running, brutal.
Yeah. Shout out to them, man. That's very impressive.
900. Well, they've been around almost 2 decades now. That's another cool part of this.
Yeah. Man, love to see that. In other news, Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. is scheduled to announce the nominees for the upcoming Grammy Awards.
Okay.
Man, it's good. I look forward to this. See what's gonna, it's gonna
For the
shake
upcoming
up.
Grammys?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a little more dialed in this year than last. It's going to be all Taylor Swift, right?
Of course.
Which, by the way, DJ'd my last daddy daughter. Well, I shouldn't say my last. If the men's club wants me back next year, I'm just not gonna have a daughter there anymore.
Oh,
At Mercy, I know. And this 8th grade class, I'm gonna be blubber all year long, all school year long. But all the new Taylor Swift stuff.
yeah.
I when it first came out, I just pooped all over it without even listening to it.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Got some bangers?
Well, not full on bangers. It
Yeah.
really she phoned it in, but you could she can phone it in and still be okay.
For sure.
So yeah, there was because every request on the request list was Taylor Swift or K-pop Demon Hunters.
That's right.
So
I bet. Man,
yeah.
you know what's really fascinating? This is the first time in about 30 years that there's no rap song on the charts. So I wonder how that's gonna work.
There's no rap song on the charts right now?
None. The last one was by Kendrick Lamar, Luther.
Yeah.
Was the last one.
That's not still charting?
That was a 13-week run and it dropped off. So let's see.
Oh, we need to dig in here.
I'm reading Billboard, and with that departure, the genre that once dominated the nation's listening habits found itself completely absent from the chart's upper tier.
Okay, wow.
So
the upper tier. I was gonna say a Hot 100's
but I mean, maybe. But when you think about that, the way hip hop and just rap just dominated the charts,
right
now, who's filling that space? Does Taylor Swift have a song that maybe
let me posit this though, okay? Rap is bad right now. I don't want to sound like old white curmudgeon.
No,
because I've been a fan of rap since the 80s, right?
For sure.
Right now, 6'7" dude is terrible.
Ugh.
And that's the best they got.
And that's Oof.
Played that last night. Stupid dance.
Oh, you did? Of course you did. I mean, why not? The kids are loving it. I bet they ate it up too.
Oh,
they were just like, what?
6'7".
Yeah.
All right, look at this. Wait, hang on. Let's follow up on this. Billboard Hot 100.
Yep.
Number 1, Fate of Ophelia, Taylor Swift. Not a bad song. Number 2, Golden, Hunter X from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay.
All right. Number 3, Ordinary by Alex Warren. Number 4, Opal Light by Taylor Swift. That was the one that I actually liked. Number 5, Man I Need by Olivia Dean. Justin Bieber's Daisies is at 6. Folded by Carolina at 7. Elizabeth Taylor by Taylor Swift at number 8. I Got Better by Morgan Wallen. And then Mutt by Leon Thomas. I don't know that song. Not familiar with it. We have to look that one up. But yeah, in your top 10, that's the Billboard Hot 100's top 10 right there. So
Taylor's in 3 of those spots.
3 of the 10. She's like the Southeastern Conference of music.
Oof.
Guys, a terrible comparison. All right, let's get out of here for our first break. On the back end of that break, we are going to talk a little sports. The New Orleans Saints are back at it this weekend, and believe it or not, the locker room's not dead. Also, LSU Tigers are back at it this weekend, taking on Alabama at Alabama. We'll talk about both of those things next. LSU women's basketball, we're going to push back to 6:25. So we will continue next on Talk 107.3. Some of the bits. that? Made it up to the third floor, made it down to the first floor. I'm all over the damn place. Did I email them to you?
You know what? You did.
All right. 617 Talk 1073 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We're going to split sports into this segment and the next segment, as there's a lot to cover. Let's go ahead and start off with the Saints if we could. Oh, hang on. LSU women's basketball absolutely annihilated Southeastern last night. We'll talk about that next segment. I mean, it was annihilation. It was 91-13 at the end of the third. Yeah. If you were the New Orleans Saints, 1-8 right now, you would think the locker room would be just completely dejected and lost and guys clocking out and ready to go home. All-time Saints legend Cam Jordan says that is not the case.
I mean, what's crazy is we were what 2-7, whatever we were at the time, 3 and something. The locker room has way better energy this year than we did last year. Last year it felt like we were devoid of energy. I won't say hope, but this year it's just like we understand what we have to do, and it has to be a we thing.
What do you think that is? I mean, is it the leadership? Is it the veterans in the room? Like, well, how have you been able to keep that kind of morale up?
I'll say it's got to be the locker room, right? Like each one of these guys, each one of these men is working their butt off in practice, and we're all speaking the same things. So if you talk to Brandon Cooks, it's like, man, we got to be positive. We got to be able to uplift our teammates. You talk to AK, and he's like, AK ain't never changed. So like he's always gonna be consistent as they come. Like, hey, this is the work that we have to do, and it's always been a we. So nobody's being an individual.
Now, one of the reasons for that is there's a lot to look forward to. Yes, it's a down year. It's a horrible year. It's a rebuilding year, but when you're rebuilding, you're working towards something. You've got a brand new coach. You've got a brand new quarterback. Even with Rattler was in his second year, but now it's Tyler Shuck. Speaking of Tyler Shuck, how did he do in his first start? Here is offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier with the breakdown.
Well, obviously, it was, a game that got away from us a little bit, sooner than we had expected or anticipated. But there's a lot of good things in there, and there's a lot of things to improve on. But the one thing was it wasn't too big for him. That's a dang good defense he played against. You tip your hat to their pass rush. They got some real dudes up front. Like I said, going into the game, I know Giff and his guys are going to come after the passer. And so a lot of positives. Obviously, his first time out there. And so, I think you're really excited to see him go get the second one this week.
Saints will kick off at noon against Carolina on Sunday on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. A lot less brain fog today. No, I was DJing a party last night. No. Oh, I've got to record an interview on Medical Monday at 9:15. Oh. All right, let's go to the who led the team in scoring last night. Flaugier at 17. All right. Okay. We're going to go with 2.2. Flaugier. Crap, this is me. We'll do 4.1 as well.
Okay.
All right, let's head back to the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center, see what we've got going on to start off your Friday morning. And actually, you know what? Not bad. There's no volume on the interstates that's worth reporting here. Your normal congestion that you see on 12 westbound coming in from Livingston Parish isn't even there. 10 westbound, 10 eastbound, both of them are looking great, as is I-110. Meanwhile, on your surface streets, let's go ahead and give that a look because it is, well, there's a stalled vehicle Corsi at Sherwood, and there's an accident in the roadway O'Neill at Commercial Avenue. But those are the only two things jamming things up on the surface streets. So hopefully we can keep it pretty clean this morning. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. All right. We'll do LSU football, and then women's basketball, okay? Rolling over to 624 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Back to sports once again for this particular segment. Coming up later this hour, we are going to talk about some of the airline problems as the governmental shutdown continues. FAA scaling back 4% of flights today. That'll be up to 10% of flights getting canceled by Sunday. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. LSU taking on Alabama this weekend, traveling to Tuscaloosa. You got the fourth-ranked Crimson Tide tomorrow. Offensively and defensively going up against each other. They're working on the run, y'all. LSU's working on the run because that's the promise by Frank Wilson. LSU will run the football. That's going to be a little more physicality from the linemen. Frank Wilson, interim head coach, says he is pleased with his team's tenacity in practice this week.
I thought our team really got after it, and it kind of lit a fire. They were asking for more, but you have to control those settings naturally. But to see our team salivate and want to compete and want redemption if one or the other got the better was certainly rewarding for us.
The defense will continue to be tested. You've got Heisman candidate Ty Simpson at quarterback for Alabama, who has been just ridiculous this season. 20 touchdowns, only one INT. Wilson says Simpson, he's got an elite skill set.
He can make every throw. He's accurate at every level. I think he does an outstanding job of reading defense, throws into windows with great anticipation, but also knows how to throw receivers open. You lose sight of the athlete that he is because he can tuck it when need be to gain yardage.
Kickoff 6:45 on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. That means Eagle 98.1's game day will begin back at 1:45. Meanwhile, Southern University is on the road this week. They're at Alcorn State. That will be a 3 p.m. kickoff for the Jaguars. Take a quick second to tell you about 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. 330-2200 is the phone number. 330-2200. As 180 Pros, they don't want to be your IT provider. They want to be your IT partner. Their success is based off of your success, and it comes down to so many different things that go into that. First and foremost, the simplified billing is amazing. It's if you've ever broken down your bill from your IT provider, what you're going to get is this laundry list of line items that go along and on and on and on. Not the case with 180 Pros. They're here to get a job done. You get a one-page invoice from 180 Pros. Are you up and running? Yes. That's all they care about right there. Everything else folds into that. Check them out at 180pros.com, 180pros.com. LSU women's basketball was in the Maravich Assembly Center last night, and the Tigers had no problems at all. I mean, no problems whatsoever. JP, I sent you some highlights. I admittedly, I've yet to listen to the highlights from last night's game.
Oh, okay.
I mean, as you can well imagine,
Yeah.
like, DJing the daddy-daughter nest till late. So, Tigers were led in scoring by Flau'jae Johnson. She had 17 points in just 19 minutes of play. In fact, nobody on LSU's team played more than 20 minutes last night. That's how lopsided it was. Flau'jae was good for three. 3 of those 17 came in the second quarter.
Flau'jae's got 8 to lead LSU. She'll dribble inside the key. Straightaway jumper. Good from 17. She's got double figures.
Really took her time on that shot. Came off that screen, got herself squared up, and did what Flau'jae does so well.
And LSU on 17 buckets has 9 assists. 41-6 LSU. 11
41-6 at that point. Here's how the scoring broke down by quarters. Okay, first quarter 30-4 Tigers. Second quarter 31-2 Tigers. Third quarter 30-7 Tigers. And Southeastern kind of evened things out in the fourth quarter with a 24-13 deficit. I mean, even in the fourth, LSU outscored them by 11. So your final score 115-26. Speaking of the fourth quarter, let's fast forward there as who do we have? Is this Michaela Williams on this one? All right, Michaela Williams with a little rebound and putback.
Down low to Zakiya Johnson. Leans in. Off the glass. Missed it from 4. Rebounds tipped. And Williams got it and laid it in. Michaela Williams with 5, and it's 93-15.
All right. I mean, new guy working the board last night. We'll have a little chat about what constitutes a highlight. There's a rebound with a putback. All right. Like I said, y'all, we were going into that one blind. So 115-26 your final score. Everything about this LSU team looks amazing. The depth had 5 girls in double figures last night. And then, gosh, like just about everyone but Jada Richard scored. So a lot of balance here. Going back to the season opener, which I produced. Kim Mulkey's doing something this year that she hasn't done in past years. And I don't know if it's a Mulkey thing or a depth thing, but she's playing all the girls. Like I said, no Tiger played for more than 20 minutes last night. One of the things we've seen in past LSU seasons is you get late in the season, get a little bit tired, you stop playing defense with your legs, and you start reaching in. You start getting fouls early. Once you start getting into foul trouble, you have to rely on your bench. And when you're relying on your bench, you didn't get a whole lot of minutes in the front end of the season, it shows up in the back end of the season. So if things can pace the way they're pacing right now before getting into conference play, that's going to be a good thing for Kim Mulkey's Tigers, as the more minutes, the better. And they definitely have the depth to get that done. Meanwhile, of course, your home for LSU women's basketball is right here on Talk 107.3 FM. We've got news coming your way. Oh, I can't wait. Oh. All right. Was anything going on in the chat this morning? Anything fun? Wow. .636 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Very tempted to call an audible here, JP.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm not doubting them, but I want proof. You heard that story there in our news from our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network about Public Service Commissioner Foster Campbell.
Yes.
Grab cuts 10, 11, and 12, please.
Okay.
Foster Campbell comes out saying, "I told you so." Is that where this is at? In 2021, Louisiana Public Service Commissioner Foster Campbell predicted that LSU would be responsible for paying a hefty buyout to Brian Kelly before he even stepped on the field. Nearly 4 years later, Campbell says, "I told you so." Cut 10. Yep. All right.
I said this was crazy that this guy wouldn't be here and they would owe him $50 million. I'm certainly not a prophet, but I knew that this was a bad deal from the get-go.
I'm not doubting him. He very well may have said this, but where? I mean, we kind of live in the day and age where we need receipts, right? Picture it didn't happen, sort of thing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and search it up when we're during breaks and whatnot. I'm gonna see if I can't find where Foster Campbell came out in 2021 and said this was gonna fail. Came out in 2021 and said this isn't gonna work. he said Campbell should have never given Kelly that 10-year contract without it being incentive based.
I thought it was foolish for LSU to give a man a 10-year open contract. I thought that we should have been more responsible, give him maybe 3 years to prove himself. And if he did, you can talk about what you're going to pay him.
Which is not how college football contracts are working at the time or ever working at the time. You're not going to sign somebody to a deal that's less the amount of time that, especially back in 2021, before NIL and transfer portal were like running full board, right? You weren't going to sign someone for less than the time that a college student or student athlete was going to be at your university. That's always been the argument with football coaches' contracts, right? It's got to be longer than the amount of time they're recruiting somebody to be there. Campbell says the board of supervisors didn't handle Kelly's contract well, says they need to avoid the same mistake with the next coaching search.
I don't think they did a good job at all in letting this contract go through. I think they should be talking to the athletic director and making sure that this never happens again.
I'll tell you what we'll do here. I'll continue to look and see if I can find anywhere from 2021 where it's actually on record of him saying that, or if he's just coming out in hindsight saying, "I told you so." I want to see if I can find the receipts on this one, but because it's easy to come out after the fact. It's so easy to come out after it. I told you this wasn't going to work. Where were you before? Yeah, it's like all the critics of the Saints right now talking about how bad the roster is and how bad they are in the draft. Where were you the morning after the draft criticizing the individual picks? That's everybody too. I mean, it's easy to look at the Saints team and say they're bad, right? But like, which pick along the way was ridiculed as it was made before you had the chance to have hindsight, in your sails? We'll see if we can't dig something up here, or at the very least, when a new coach is named, we'll get Foster Campbell on to get him on the record right then and say, "Okay, Swami, how long is this one going to last? When's it going to fall apart? When's it going to fail?" And then we'll have the recording for the next time. How about that? Sorry. Didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole. Meanwhile, on the national side, the government shutdown does continue, and hundreds of flights are being canceled this morning as the FAA is putting in new restrictions on airspace at 40 markets around the country. 40 different airports around the country are seeing a cutback in flights. They include cities like New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta. Sam Sweeney is with ABC. He covers transportation and tells the ABC podcast Start Here that the move comes out of concern for safety, which we all understand. Cut one.
The Department of Transportation and the FAA aren't trying to punish the American people with this. So it's not that they're only going to be cutting commercial flights versus private flights. They're going to be cutting all flights because it's about how many planes are in the sky. They can't currently handle the scheduled amount of traffic in U.S. airspace because they do not have enough air traffic controllers.
They say necessity is the mother of invention. I'm wondering if there's going to be some level of air traffic control automation that is going to kick in here or, come about as a result of this in the long term. Back to Sweeney. What should travelers be doing in the meanwhile? Business or leisure, what should you be doing in the meanwhile until flights are back to full speed?
The best thing that you can do is download the airline's app. That's where they're going to communicate that first cancellation to you, and then they will automatically try to rebook you. But you will be able to go in and see where they rebook you to. And if that doesn't work, you can try to change that, or you can cancel your ticket and get a full refund.
Or Congress can just get their what together and put it into this. Shouldn't put this on all of Congress. It's on the Senate side right now. They are expected to have another vote today. I don't know if it's going to look any different than the previous votes. Obviously, ABC News at the top and bottom of the hour for the latest on that front. In the meanwhile, let's keep things moving around here. Oh, before we continue, though, got to remind you about Neurojust. Neurojust.com is their website. You'll find them on Bluebonnet. Neurojust is here for anybody suffering with anxiety or depression. If you or someone you love is battling, and you know how the battle goes if you're in it, right? It's like a constant choppy 6-foot waves, just crashing seas inside your head. It's a constant fight or flight battle. The fight or flight is the anxiety. It leads to depression with just pure exhaustion of it being constant. It feels inescapable. And for some, sitting down to talk about it with a therapist doesn't get it done. And for some, the prescription drugs are a no-go. They're a non-starter. Why? Side effects, the way they make you feel, whether or not the prescription drugs you're going to take, being popped on an antidepressant, you don't know what the long-term effects are going to be there. And like I said, for some people, they just don't take. Well, that's where TMS comes into play. Stands for transcranial magnetic stimulation. It is a process, a therapy process that is taking the nation by storm. You're going to find it in most of the major cities around the country right now. We are unbelievably lucky to have it here in Baton Rouge, right there at NeuroJust. Transcranial magnetic stimulation. It sends magnetic pulses into the brain that stimulate the areas of the brain that affect mood. It is non-invasive because it's on the outside. It is FDA approved. There are no side effects. Learn more at neurojust.com. Back to our bottom of the hour news there from Louisiana Radio Network. Story that we talked about earlier in the week. Wanted to pick back up on if we could. And that is the state's ranking within the tax foundation with the competitiveness index. We went from 37 to 31 overall. And we talked about this earlier in the week, but I wanted to pick back up with where Louisiana Radio Network was with it. The Tax Foundation senior policy analyst Manesh Bhatt says those reforms, a lot of the reforms that we put in are what moved us up the rankings. Those reforms include a new flat individual income tax rate of 3%, corporate income tax rate of 5.5%. Cut 7.
There's still work to be done, but there's no question that Louisiana is far more competitive now than it was last year, and I think the state will start seeing positive gains.
I have no doubt either. There's a want and a mindset at the state capitol to not be a one-hit wonder. Louisiana has traditionally been exactly that, a one-hit wonder. Well, hit it and quit it action going on. Oh, we worked on that last time. We don't have to work on that again. No, it's every time. Whether you're talking about legal reform, insurance reform, tax reform, reform is an ongoing process. It is an unfinished symphony. Bott says he expects Louisiana's rankings to improve in 2026 as the state's franchise tax will be repealed. He says modernizing the state's tax structure helps position it for growth.
Hopefully these tax reforms can start seeing Louisiana recruit and retain the next generation of great Louisianans that are going to build businesses, that are going to invest in the state, and they're going to stay for a long period of time.
It is one of the areas where we're going to continue to lag, at least for right now, is on the sales tax side, but we could see improvement there.
From centralization of sales taxes to ending a number of exemptions and broadening the base to include some services. Right now, Louisiana has the highest statewide and average local sales tax in the country. So there's significant room for improvement in that.
Yeah, there is. But if all your local municipalities are being fed off of sales tax, it's hard to make that balance. Because if you look at a map, state by state, if you look at a map, our state sales tax is not brutal. It's when you combine state sales tax with local sales tax that we really start to clip up a good bit. So we're due up for a quick break here. We've got Your Money Now coming your way right now, or coming your way in 3 minutes. Take a break. We'll check traffic. Your Money Now is headed up, and then we'll return right after that on Talk 107.3. Yeah.
Lo-fi hip hop beat with like a little R&B mixed in.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the trailer for the new Michael biopic? Michael Jackson biopic?
I was reading about it last night.
Man, I think it's like his cousin or something playing him. in the
Really?
movie.
It needs to be the weekend.
Really? You think he'd be a good?
Oh my God, yes.
Really? Weekend. I don't know.
Go back and watch the video to I Can't Feel My Face.
Okay. Okay.
That dance was the dancing so on point that people were saying the weekend was his illegitimate child.
Dang. That's wild.
Keep go back. You still have cut 10 handy?
Mhm.
All right. Troy, policy question. If the locals adopted the same state sales tax exemptions for purchases of groceries, prescription meds, and other essentials, would sales tax not be considered regressive anymore? I think sales tax will always be considered regressive because of the percentage of impact it has on poor people versus, like, even if the essentials are fine. Well, I mean, after that, everything you buy is a choice, not a necessity. It would lessen the impact a lot. I like it. With the penny going away, will the tax millage change? No. Because millages are based off of fractions of pennies, not pennies. There's no actual currency that has to be bothered with a millage. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and Mathurns is here for you. There is no reason to take on everything on your own. Hit up Mathurns website, or more to the point, download the Mathurns Rewards app. Look up the catering menus, okay? Knock out some of those sides. You don't have to slave over your macaroni and cheese. You don't have to put all the extra effort into the green beans. Mathurns can help you out there with catering options. In fact, if you want, they probably got the whole turkey there for you. The whole dinner can be done. And oh, by the way, when you use the Mathurns Rewards app, you can earn cash towards free groceries every time you shop at Mathurns. All right, JP, we got to go back to it, man. Did the research. There's a quick little Google foo during the break.
All right.
All right. So the story as it's being reported in 2021, Public Service Commissioner Foster Campbell allegedly said that that Louisiana would be responsible for paying a hefty buyout to Brian Kelly before he even stepped on the field. Foster Campbell is now saying, "I told you so." Could you replay cut 10, please?
I said this was crazy, that this guy wouldn't be here,
Nope.
and they would owe him $50 million. I'm certainly not a prophet, but I knew that this was a bad deal from the get-go.
Okay, so kind of went back, looked it up. Greg Hilburn was the author of the article. Public Service Commissioner Foster Campbell said that a $100 million contract was way too much money. He didn't say thumbs up or thumbs down as to if it would fail or win. He just said our priorities are upside down, that we're paying a football coach that much money. Read the article over at the Daily Advertiser out of Lafayette was the one where I found it. But it will Campbell noted Kelly's compensation will make him one of the 5 highest paid coaches, while LSU's ranking in the U.S. News and World Report list of best universities fell to number 172. Campbell's beef was not on Kelly's level of success in the field, but where you and I choose to spend our disposable income. We prioritize football way too much. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I do think that from time to time we prioritize football way too much. So you take that 10,000 foot view and see how much of the overall economy revolves around that as well. But in reading the article, no, Foster Campbell did not say we would be paying, the state would be on the hook for a $54 million buyout. Unless there's another article out there that I don't know about. But this one came about December of 2021. So right about the same time as hiring. Let's find a different source, same article. The messed up priorities are where it's at. And oh, wait a minute. We can go all the way back to Louisiana Radio Network on this one. Yes. Okay. So our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network had this to begin with. They're reporting on it. Says, never at a loss for words, Louisiana Public Service Commission member Foster Campbell shares his feelings on hiring LSU hiring Brian Kelly to lead the football program. Quote, that's way too much money. Kelly's contract, including incentives, is worth over $10 million a year. Campbell says he finds it all troubling. I think it's gotten out of hand. I don't think anyone is worth $10 million a year to coach football. I think a further quote says, I think we put too much emphasis on football, not enough on academics. I think it's crazy, Campbell says, and someone ought to be saying something about it. And if everybody thinks that football is more important than the classroom, I don't agree. See, none of those quotes are about failure. None of those quotes are about we're going to be on the hook for the money. Just general misprioritization. All right. I feel satisfied now. I got my answer. I appreciate y'all taking a little walk with me right there. Meanwhile, let's get back on track from where we were supposed to be this morning. The weather. That's where we're going next. My goodness. And you heard this from our news partners as well. This weekend, it's time to dig out the winter coats. Not just the sleeves, the full-on coats, y'all. After a mild start to the weekend, Sunday is going to be absolutely brutal. We're going to see the coldest temperatures of the season at the outset of next week. Barry Keim, LSU's health climatologist, says a cold front is coming down into the state late this weekend. We're going to get a lot of Canadian air out there.
By Monday morning, we're looking at upper 30s across northern parishes of Louisiana, lower 40s across the southern part of the state. High temperatures on Monday are only going to be in the 50s.
Okay. I'm a fall guy. I'm a winter guy. And not so much. I don't like the bone chilling cold, but I do like a cooler out there because I know we don't get much of it, you know? Even if we're getting some next week, you know it's going to taper back off again. Not a full-on fake fall, but it's going to taper back off again. And by the way, if you think Monday's going to be cold, Tuesday's going to be even colder. Keim says temperatures in some parts of the states will drop below freezing.
It'll pretty much be 30s across the entire state, low 30s everywhere north of the I-10, I-12 corridor. As we get south of that region in the southern part of the state, more coastal, it'll be in the upper 30s.
And that's for Monday and Tuesday. It'll tick back up after that. Get back to a little bit closer to normal fall temps on the back end of next week. We are at 6:58 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We've got news. We've got a top of the hour news from ABC, the latest on the shutdown, the latest on the flight cancellations. All that's coming your way. Coming up next hour, LSU Board of Supervisors President Scott Ballard slated to join us at 7:15. And then also next hour, we've got Patty G in the house. Got a lot to talk about with Patty G. Julio Malera had a great column up at the Business Report earlier in the week. We'll cover all that in our next hour. Before we get you to the news here, let me remind you about Vex European, VEX. VexEuropean.com is the website. You'll find them on Benefit Drive in real life. What you get with Vex European, if you drive a European vehicle, you know you need performance and longevity. That's why you bought this thing, right? You want to get the most out of your car for as long as you possibly can. With Vex European, you're going to get a technician who specializes in your vehicle. Jaguar owners, you get a Jaguar tech. Mercedes, I've got an 18-year-old Mercedes, y'all. My car is old enough to vote. And it hums like it did on day one because of the folks over at Vex European. Check them out online, VexEuropean.com, or like I said, if you wanted to visit them, they're on Benefit Drive, the backside of Industrialplex. Vinny and his team do a phenomenal job. Got to love the waiting room over there. They've got coffee, they've got snacks, they've got soft drinks, and you're really not in there for all that long because they take care of you in very short order. VexEuropean.com. Slow news day when an entire segment is devoted to Foster Campbell's clairvoyance. No, I put other things on pause just to go down that rabbit hole for a minute. I'm not a big I told you so guy, and it kind of pisses me off when people try to play that card. But I told you he was no good. No, you didn't. So shut up.
Maybe set it off record.
Then it doesn't count.
It doesn't count, but still.
You either have receipts or it didn't happen.
That's right.
Chandler, welcome aboard, hopefully. Shoot. Oh. .705 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. JP producing. John, we might have a problem here.
What?
Our 7:15 interview still in the air.
Oh.
I think the flight changes and delays and everything. He just sent a text from the plane, by the way. Can I text you when I land? We're in the air circling.
Oof.
So, all right, we might have to reschedule 7:15. No biggie if so. Always happy to accommodate for the LSU Board of Supervisors. Scott Ballard. All right. It is hour 2, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. Is it time for your IT to hit a 180? Visit 180pros.com. We will do our best to effort Scott Ballard here. Not that we can do anything about it, as he's still in the air. If we have to reschedule, we'll have to reschedule. No big deal. We've got a lot to talk about in the meanwhile. In fact, let's go ahead and dive right back. Oh, by the way, Patrick Gremillion, also slated for this hour. I'm sure he will be sporting a very seasonal appropriate vest. Patty G coming up later this hour. Right now, top stories and trending.
Number 5.
Starts us off in a courtroom where a man was sentenced to 2 life sentences Thursday afternoon, convicted of killing 2 people, including his ex-girlfriend back in 2021. 37-year-old Brian Laverne was found guilty of the murders of 28-year-old LaQuincia Jackson and 33-year-old Frederick Hollins at an apartment complex over in Tigerland. Hollins' mother, Agnes Hollins, says she felt some closure from Laverne being sentenced to 2 life sentences.
Number 4.
The Capital Area Transit System, a.k.a. CATS, going to waive all route fares on November 15th to assist those traveling to the polls on Election Day. Riders can board any bus on November 15th free of charge throughout the service area. Regular routes and schedules will apply. The story didn't say whether or not this affects CATS on demand or just the regular buses, so we need some follow-up on that.
Number 3.
The trial of Desmond Carter, one of the 4 men charged in connection with the Madison Brooks rape case, is now scheduled for August 17th of next year. Carter faces charges of 1st and 3rd degree rape, one of 4 men arrested in the rape case of Madison Brooks. Carter was a part of a group accused of raping Brooks in the backseat of a vehicle before they dropped Brooks off in a subdivision. Brooks was staggering through the subdivision in the street, got hit by a rideshare driver, and was killed.
Number 2.
Attorney General Liz Murrell filed a joint complaint with the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality and the United States Department of Justice against Smitty's Supply following an explosion and fire at their Roseland plant. The complaint claims that Smitty's cleanup and oil spill prevention efforts in the Tangipahoa River were inadequate. Additionally, the complaint noted Smitty's violated the Clean Water Act even prior to the explosion, saying the company had numerous permit violations.
Number 1.
Mayor President Sid Edwards has named Christelle Slaughter as the permanent chief administrative officer for the East Baton Rouge Parish, first woman to hold the position in 4 decades. Slaughter had previously been serving as interim CAO. What you got, JP?
Well, a federal judge in Rhode Island ordered the Trump administration Thursday to find the money to fully fund SNAP benefits for November.
By today, no less.
Yeah.
Ruled yesterday to get it together by today.
That's right.
Curious to see how that plays out. Very curious to see how that plays out, because there's been a lot of question as to whether or not was it a $5 billion reserve for USDA? Is that right?
You might be right about that.
Yeah. That has been in question before. Now, the follow-up here is, does a federal judge in Rhode Island dictate what happens for the rest of the nation? He is a federal judge, but also, wouldn't this kick up to the bench?
Yeah, you're right. So we'll see. But nonetheless, this judge, John McConnell, by the way, is Yeah, the judge
Okay.
out there. Hey, shout out to Happy's Running Club as they recently completed their 900th run. That's a lot of miles and a lot of Tuesdays.
Oh man, that's 2 decades worth right there. By the way,
Very impressive.
2 decades worth. That's a lot. And they loop right around our building. Like I've
so cool.
Yeah, you see them if you're like up here on a Tuesday afternoon. You see them heading where we're at, just off of Government Street, and is that East? I think the street name changes when it gets right here. It's not East anymore. But the loop right behind our building, heading over to North Boulevard before turning right on North Boulevard and heading over that overpass, which is brutal if you're running.
Yeah, I guess so. That's really cool, though. Well, the Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. is scheduled to announce the nominees for the upcoming Grammy Awards.
How much do you know? How much do you think
About
you
what?
know about, like, what do you? Obviously, Taylor Swift is going to get a lot, right?
Of course. But we were talking last hour about the hip hop side of things, the rap category. It's the first time
is lacking.
Yeah, first time in 30 years. There's no rap song in the top 40.
That's crazy. I expect Taylor Swift to get a whole lot.
She's gonna dominate.
I know,
Man.
I know. Sabrina Carpenter kind of peeled off a little bit this year, but she's in the top 20
for sure.
Morgan Wallen's got 2 songs in the top 20 right now. I'm sure he'll be up in the mix for something. I'll tell you which one I'm digging is Raven Lene, Love Me Not.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another top 20. And then everything else is kind of K-pop Demon Hunters.
Right.
Which
they're going to sweep the
I
awards as
admittedly
well.
knew nothing about before. Like my son would point out the songs when they'd come on the radio. Golden is the big one. Soda Pop's the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
good stuff.
I just envisioning a world where K-pop Demon Hunters is in the hunt for a Grammy. You know?
There we go. And then it's an animated band, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
they're
kind
not
of like
real.
gorillas.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, they're going to sweep the awards. Taylor Swift, I'm sure.
Taylor Swift and K-pop Demon Hunters.
I don't know. Are there any songs on the album that maybe could, or genre bending to where maybe, you had Bad Blood featuring Kendrick a couple years ago? Is there anything like that on this new album? I haven't heard it.
The what? The Taylor Swift album?
Yeah.
Not that I've heard.
Okay.
Life of a Showgirl's Taylor and Sabrina Carpenter. But like The Fate of Ophelia is just Taylor. What else is on there? I'm trying to. Wish List is just Taylor.
Say, I wouldn't expect you to
Father
memorize.
Figures just
Okay, you
Taylor.
have memorized them.
Do what?
I was gonna say I wouldn't expect you to know any of that.
Elizabeth Taylor is on there. Opalite, that was the one that I liked. Sorry, I've got the Billboard Hot 100 open in front of me.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay.
And of course, number 1 is The Fate of Ophelia right now, which everybody went crazy over at the daddy-daughter dance last night. So
very cool.
Yeah, has a lot of Taylor Swift in the top 25. That's a lot of representation of one album.
She's just
in the
competing
top-
with herself at this point.
So stupid. It's so stupid. Like, you think about, okay, let's get old here for a minute, all right? Let's really date ourselves here for just a quick second, okay? When an album would come out, okay, you'd have like the 1, 2, possibly 3 singles within the album that were going to chart, right? But now that albums don't sell anymore and it's downloads, you don't have those off-brand, you don't have the B-sides, if you will.
Right.
So how did Taylor pump this? I mean, she could, my apologies, she could fart into a microphone and go number 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fans
That's
would
like,
freak, and they would pay for it.
Oh, they
They'd pay
would.
to hear it.
They would absolutely do that. And they would talk about the brilliance of the art behind it.
Right.
You can't spell fart without art.
Oh, there you go.
That would be the tagline.
That would be it.
That might even be the title of the song.
Yeah. It's an acronym for,
Yeah.
something else. Yeah,
But like, if it's not like it was when, when an album would come out and like every track was a banger, that was a special thing.
Yeah.
But now with the downloads, there are no like the side songs that nobody's ever going to listen to.
Yeah.
The I Need Love by LL Cool J, those don't exist anymore.
No, they're only
Why
putting out
come
their
out?
best work.
Right.
They're only putting out their best, and oftentimes it's just singles and things like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Good stuff.
Going back in time, JP,
Mm-hmm.
the one album that you would never want to replace. like the one album cassette, CD, whatever,
Oh.
start to finish, everyone from.
Oh man.
All right, post up on our Facebook page. We're live on Facebook right now. What's the one album where everything was a banger? The one that you just listened to from start to finish the whole way through. No skipping, no fast forwarding.
Man, I got a
If
couple
we
like
really
that.
want to get old, no picking up and moving the needle. Like that one where every single one of them, top to bottom, was just beyond compare.
Yeah. You're asking me right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. See, mainstream album, I'm trying to think because I don't know. Mainstream probably POD Satellite. I think that album, I think for the time when it came out.
Beastie Boys, License to Ill.
Okay, License to Ill. Check Your Head by Beastie Boys. That's
Yes.
another one that if we're talking like that, yeah. Golly, yeah, every song off of it, Check Your Head is just I don't know. I'm in love with that album. I'm surprised I didn't name that album first, but yeah. You're going Beastie Boys. So.
Right, Beastie Boys right out the blocks. Probably Run DMC's Raising Hell.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So many albums.
But it's hard to pin down one where it's top to bottom the whole way through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the way music was made back then, right? It was like, hey, we'll give you the one good single. You buy the album. There's 16 other tracks that are just meh.
Right.
You know. Nowadays we're a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. We are due up for a break real quick. We're at 7:16 at Talk 107.3 FM. My apologies, y'all. We were slated to have Scott Ballard, the president of LSU's Board of Supervisors, on with us on our next segment. However, Scott's in the air right now, like literally. Flight hasn't landed yet. He says we're in the air circling. So hopefully we can connect with him this morning. If not, we will follow up for Monday morning for sure. I wanted kind of a firsthand look at the presidential search. We'll get the president on in due time for sure. But I wanted kind of a firsthand look at the presidential search. What made Wade Roos stand out? What goals do we have for Wade Roos? What made us want to go back to the president / chancellor split? Wanted to talk about all those things. Hopefully we can connect with him. If not, we'll just keep it moving. There's a lot of individual news stories to cover, which we will do next. Before we take that break, let me remind you about Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. Go to LandmarkBankLA.com. Pull up hit the About Us tab to get the locations and hours. This is important that you know the locations because they need to be in your community. They are a community bank. They live by that. They've made sure that they've been a community bank from the start, and they will always be a community bank. Founded in 1897 as a community bank. In 2025, rolling into 2026, they remain true to that mission. And the importance of a community bank cannot be overstated. If you're a business owner, a small business owner in that community, you know how important it is. Just because if you survived COVID and the PPP loan process, if your business made it through that, you know it's because your banker went to work for you. Your banker knows you. You see your banker at the grocery store. You see your banker at the gym. You see your banker pumping gas. They're a member of your community. Small business owners, you already know it. Talking about your personal banking, here we'll sit down and talk about your wants, needs, dreams, and desires. Learn more at landmarkbankla.com.
All right. So yeah. Got some good albums on here, Jay-Z's. You know, it's insane because my music taste. I'm trying to think of something mainstream because I think like, okay, I enjoy. It's probably no. I enjoy heavy music, and so when I'm thinking like, okay, am I gonna go off on some obscure album that no one's ever heard of or like some mainstream thing? But even keeping it with K-pop, Demon Hunter. So there's a metal band called Demon Hunter, and it's one of my favorite bands. Like. Their album, The Triptych, like from front to back, is like the best. Their first 3 albums, Summer of Darkness, The Triptych. Anyway, see what I'm saying? I would lose everybody if I would say that, but it's just what I like. So those albums, but mainstream rock like Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory and Meteora, those 2 albums, back front and back, dude, shut it down. That collaboration album, Collision Course with Jay-Z, amazing. Stuff like that, but. Good stuff. 5150 Van Halen. Okay, I see that. The Long Run by the Eagles. Yeah. Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, of course. Billy Joel. Is it just self-titled album, Keith? Pearl Jam's 10. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I Was Changed Dirt. Yeah, especially like thinking like 90s grunge era, of course. Nevermind's in there.
Hey, write
Man.
this phone number down.
Sorry.
Seven twenty Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. You heard that story in our news at the bottom of the hour last hour about the Louisiana motor transport, the trucking industry, saying that insurance and lawsuit abuse are the biggest concerns in 2025. Renee Amar, executive director of the Louisiana Motor Transport Association, I'm going to hop on the hotline with us here in just a quick second. We were slated to talk with Scott Ballard here. He's the president of the LSU Board of Supervisors. And the FAA, I'm just putting two and two together here. I might be making a false comparison here, but he can't land yet. His flight was supposed to be wheels down. He texted me about 20 minutes ago and said, I'm circling in the air. So I'm guessing like a flight in an airport where he was headed to, or headed from, headed to, was actually, you know what? Yeah, I know where he was headed. So yeah, he is part of this, part of the FAA scaling back. Hey, go back to the Sweeney cuts if you could. We talked about this in our first hour. The FAA cutting back 4% of flights as of today. That number should be up to 10% by the weekend. I mean, it's hundreds of flights are just straight up being canceled this morning. There's new restrictions on airspace in the top 40 markets across the country. Sam Sweeney, he's with ABC. He covers transportation for ABC. He was on the ABC podcast Start Here, and was talking about how one of the reasons they're doing well, the reason they're doing what they're doing is primarily public safety.
The Department of Transportation and the FAA aren't trying to punish the American people with this. So it's not that they're only going to be cutting commercial flights versus private flights. They're going to be cutting all flights because it's about how many planes are in the sky. They can't currently handle the scheduled amount of traffic in U.S. airspace because they do not have enough air traffic controllers.
And I guess it would mean not just getting them up in the air safely, but getting them on the ground safely as well. You know what? We're going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a plug on Scott for today. We'll get him in on Monday morning, probably 6 o'clock hour Monday morning. See if we can't get that done. It's been such a tumultuous 2 weeks. I was really looking forward to closing out this week with kind of an encapsulation of the whole thing. So we're going to pivot. We'll talk to Renee Amar in just a minute about the Louisiana Motor Transport Association and some of their concerns. So also coming up in our next segment, Patrick Gremillion, host of the Patty G Show, going to be on with us. We talk with Patty G roughly every month or so about just business culture and the business climate in Baton Rouge and where we're headed, or more to the point, where we could be headed. This week, we're talking about a piece that Julio Malera had in the business report. We'll break that down on our next segment. Right now, though, from the Louisiana Motor Transport Association, we've got Renee Amar. She's the executive director over there. Good morning, Renee. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. I'm doing pretty well for this fine Friday.
I appreciate you hopping on board on such short notice. We had a cancellation in the schedule, and I was like, oh, good, because I wanted to call Renee about this the topic that Louisiana Radio Network covered in our news at the bottom of last hour. And that is tackling the insurance environment and the lawsuit abuse environment. Kind of as we're wrapping up 2025, this is going to be a big thing for 2026 as well, correct?
Absolutely, it surely is for us still, Brian.
The Louisiana has traditionally been a state that would go ahead, tackle a problem. And where are you seeing a different vibe from the legislature, the current state legislature versus previous iterations, where there's more of a want to stay on top of things now?
Absolutely. I feel like with this freshman class, they have so much zeal and energy. And look, don't get me wrong, there's been tons of freshman classes before that had that same energy, but there's just something special about this class where they have really held it together and they just keep that energy going. They know that specifically for us, they have done a lot over the last couple of years to address the insurance crisis. They started off with homeowners, and then they moved on this last year to auto and commercial. There just wasn't a ton done that helps commercial. There was more so done that should help the auto market. And so I have definitely let them know that we need to come back and especially deal with that medical billing issue that we've talked about in the past.
Well, this is one where we've gotten into, sticky places before with it. How should we go about it differently next year?
Well, what they did this year is, and look, it's a complicated issue that when I even talked to my husband about it, his eyes glazed over. But the difference between the bill that you get and the bill that is finally paid in the end is a vast difference. I've got members where if you and I go get an MRI at the hospital because our insurance is paying for it, just say Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's going to be a $500, maybe $1,000 bill. I have truckers that have bills because it was a personal injury case, and that MRI cost them $30,000 or $40,000.
It's insane.
So that is just an untenable system that cannot continue because that $30,000 or $40,000 is being baked into their insurance premium. So there's just no other way around it. This last year, they allowed for transparency with health insurance. What we're finding is that in about 90% at least of our cases, they aren't using health insurance anymore. It's just a cash system. And so they're outside of all the rules.
We're talking with Renee Amar from the Louisiana Motor Transport Association about some, things we might be teeing up for our next legislative session. Renee, is there a way to turn like that kind of, when you open up the door to medical transparency and you can see that kind of differentiation between what's real and what's billed, like how is that not just straight up fraud?
Well, I think if you ask some of my truckers, they might tell you that, they believe that it is, I guess, just purely by the definition. And look, some of the lawmakers will tell us at the Capitol that if something tragic happened and they wanted a specialist, for their grandkid because they were involved in a wreck and, needed this specialty ortho, for surgery, and it was going to be an astronomical amount of money. It's always these specific cases. What I know is that they've dealt with this in other states like Florida or Texas where they use usual and customary charges. They'll say if this is an MRI charge for a region, then that should be acceptable. But we don't know how at this point it is not considered fraud. And what we believe is that because our system has turned a blind eye to this for so long, that it's just allowing a lot more in-your-face fraud to happen.
Well, and that's the part that's so disheartening, right? That's the part that like, I would like to be optimistic about it, but it's just so ingrained in who we are. And it's like every other state can get it right, but we can't for some reason. And there's always like these unbelievably strong arguments. Well, they're paper thin, but they sound loud. Yeah. They sound loud. But arguments against why we don't want to do it this way or why it's everyone else's fault. So how do we attack it from the standpoint of when the arguments come back out saying we need to explore other options, it's another reason this needs to be on the insurance company and not, the legal process. Those are the arguments we hear year in and year out.
Yep.
What do we do to pick those apart?
And Brian, just as you said that, it made me think, because obviously I talked to my colleagues in other states. I spend time with the other trucking association executives. What I found is that in other states, the hospital systems and the healthcare industry has stood beside the trucking industry when they have passed these bills to address lawsuit abuse. In Louisiana, there's parts of our healthcare industry that oppose us. Sometimes they do it outwardly, sometimes they do it quietly. But what I know is that they are one of the big drivers in this system. And so I think so long as this freshman class continues thinking if other states do it, we should be able to do it. We love our unique culture and we want to be different in different ways, but not when it comes to business practices. We want to look like every other state. We don't want to make it hard for other businesses to locate here because we're different.
Last one before we get you out of here, and this is just to put some perspective on the numbers themselves. How big is the trucking industry in Louisiana?
We provide 90,000 jobs in the state of Louisiana. So it's 1 in 18 jobs are provided by the trucking industry.
Pretty significant number right there. She's Renee Amar. Appreciate you hopping on board on such short notice. They're kind of pinch hitting for Scott Ballard, as it were.
Always here, man. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much. 7:30. Here's news. All right. Damn it. Yeah. You know him? That we do. We do. We're trying to do more of a visual presence. So, yeah. Do what?
Rocco?
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to get rid of my coffee cup. I'll be right back.
Even got the windscreens here for 180 Pros? Man, that guy hooked you up. Can you even see it?
Maybe when they zoom in, when they do like the shorts and stuff.
Mm. Those escape monkeys.
Yeah, there's only one left.
Apparently, a Texas YouTuber shot him, and then now has a rare virus
for shooting the monkey.
So he shot the monkey. I guess he held him up like he held him for his photo.
Why would you touch the Why would you touch the monkey?
I don't
touch
know.
the monkey.
Don't shock the monkey. Don't touch the monkey. Don't spank the monkey. Oh, he said he was deer hunting when a pack of monkeys ran through the woods, believing they were a danger to local wildlife. He fired, killing one of them. During the encounter, the animal bit him on the arm before dying. Oof. Later learned the monkeys are part of a medical research program connected to Tulane University and may have been carrying multiple experimental pathogens.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
Dude, these guys are still throwing out some solid albums.
What we got?
Garth Brooks' No Fences.
Oh, No Fences.
Come on. Dude, Adele's first album. All right. 19. Dude, Adele, I don't have guilty pleasures, okay? I like what I like. And Adele is like that artist that, dude.
What are we doing
I'm all
some
in.
on the
Yeah, we were talking about albums.
Okay.
Like
one
an
of my
album front to
all-time
back.
favorite songs is kind of an Adele song.
How is it kind of an Adele song?
New Orleans bounce version of "Rolling in the Deep."
That's an Adele song with a
okay.
New Orleans twist.
Yeah.
Still it's still an Adele
You've
song.
never heard it. I'm telling you right now.
It's still an Adele song, though. It's written by Adele.
I understand that. But I mean, Bust a Move is not the Incredible Bongo Band. It's sample.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Oh, today's Gordy Rush's birthday. Happy birthday, Gordy Rush.
Man, I'm glad you said that, man. We'll throw that in this day in history.
Yeah.
I'm taking note right now. I was like, oh, thanks for that. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Appreciate that.
Of course, man. Of course. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, Gordy Rush birthday. There it is. Also, it's Elizabeth Daigle's birthday. I don't know who that is. Okay. This day in history. A man was born that would change the trajectory of sports broadcasting forever.
Forever. Matt asks, no vest?
It's not cold enough for a vest, but don't you worry. This weekend, when it gets into the 50s, it'll be vest weather.
Yes, indeed.
I've got it all steamed and pressed. It's ready to go, hanging up on the wall. No, it's too hot, man. The core's already warm. Add any more to the core, it becomes sweaty. I told him today's Gordy's birthday.
It is.
Oh, is this the bump?
Yeah. That was actually in the folder already. Yeah. .736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. JP, we need an update, man. Asked the chat we asked the chat for participation, so we need to reward that participation.
Yes.
The question was the album that every track is a banger. What is yours? And what did we get? What did we get back feedback wise?
Oh my goodness, we got Garth Brooks's No Fences.
Oh yes.
Hey, what about this one? Masterpiece, Ghetto Dope.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Candlebox's first album. Adele,
Oh,
yeah.
Candlebox when they hit Far Behind.
Yeah, I believe so. That was probably there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, they got
And
some
then-
Adele in there.
So, and that's what brought about the bumper that you just heard is
That's
that
right.
New Orleans bounce version of "Rolling in the Deep." I can just run with that all day long.
Still an
all
Adele
day
song.
long. It is still an Adele song. Patrick Gremillion's in the house. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Brian. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
I'm not
as
stuck
well.
in the air. That's good, right?
Well, it happens.
Does it though?
Apparently
Does
so.
it?
I mean, it literally just happened. For those that are just tuning in, we LSU Board of Supervisors President Scott Ballard was slated for our last segment, and he texted me right before the segment. Was like, "Can I text you when I land?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean,
That'd be a good thing to do.
please. Well, so I know you're safe at this
Right.
point." But he's literally circling in the air, so we had to postpone.
At some point, the planes have to come down, though. He can't just stay up there forever.
Patrick, stop putting things in the universe. Did you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? All right. What were we supposed to talk about? Better than Ezra's Deluxe. How about that?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Now you're getting something I'm familiar with.
Yeah. That's a shout out to Clint right there.
Yeah.
Early in the week, I stumbled across an article, a column, I should say, by Julio Malera.
Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday? Okay.
Tuesday, November 4th.
All right. Julio Malera, what Columbus got right and why Baton Rouge should pay attention. And really well done by Julio. And it's available still at the Business Report if you wanted to check it out.
Get through the pop-ups.
I know. If you want to see what happens when leadership gets aligned and plays the long game, look north, way north to Columbus, Ohio. The capital region and Columbus have a lot in common. Both are state capitals, major university towns, and regional economic anchors. But that's where the similarities end. While we spent years debating our potential, Columbus has been busy realizing its own. The question is, what can we learn from it? Let me start right there, Patrick.
Yes.
What can we learn from it?
What can we learn from it? The unity across the decision makers.
Okay.
Coming together, banding together, saying, here's the plan, here's what we're going to do, and then actually executing on it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we kind of get caught in this circular motion of having the conversations and wishing for what we could do. And we all just get stuck there. And it's like, I want to do this initiative, I want to do that initiative. And it's hard to get this aligned, shared vision that then gives us a formable, actionable step to take. And that's kind of where we get lost, I feel. Is it's just so segregated, separated in little pockets, right?
Yeah.
It's we want to do this here, we want to do this here. It's not, okay, let's look at the whole region and let's get a game plan. We're trying to with Plan BR3, right? That's
right.
The thought.
Right.
But that's 2 years, 3 years before the first thing is done.
Yeah. Well, and so another part of this is oftentimes if we see something that we like 80% of but don't like the other 20%, we're more likely to say no to the whole thing.
Right.
Which I'll give you another example of this, and I don't know where you're at on the Thrive EBR, the props 1, 2, and 3 that are on the ballot next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's an imperfect plan. It's an imperfect plan, and I'm 100% on board because I'm not willing to make the perfect the enemy of the good.
Right.
It's good, but it's not perfect.
And
so many people are going to like flush it down the toilet because it's not perfect.
Yes, we get stuck in this realm of perfection, right? And it's often you hear it on my show when I have guests come on. If they were to wait till their product was absolutely perfect, they never would have got their company off the ground.
Right.
We're doing the same thing in the ecosystem that is Baton Rouge.
Right.
It's not perfect. Go back to the drawing board, scrub the whole thing, and wait for and like try it again. Bring it back up. But it's like to your point, if it's good enough, we like 80% of it. We like a strong majority of it. Let's just get it in place, get the ball rolling forward, not stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can figure out it as it goes. You know, you're going to have changes. You're going to have a little bit of amendments and stuff come up that you weren't expecting, but just get it started. You know, like we said a couple months ago, how do we get downtown more active? One business at a time, not having 100 different things show up all at once.
Patrick Gremillion's in with us. We're talking a little bit about where Columbus, Ohio, and Baton Rouge are similar and where they separate. This is a Julio Malera column over at the Business Report from earlier in the week. Columbus leaders across business, government, and higher ed decided a long time ago that collaboration beats competition. They don't waste energy fighting over turf or credit. Let's talk about the turf part for just a minute, because I feel like Baton Rouge is how to put this. There's this mentality of downtown versus Baton Rouge.
Yes.
And it's not the downtown that's the versus part. Baton Rouge looks at downtown as competition to the rest of Baton Rouge because they feel like it gets too much attention. But traditionally, since Athens, Greece, all things good flow into the boulevard. Right? All things good flow downtown. That's why we have cities. Cities were originally trading posts, right? Yeah. It was a place to meet, a place to gather, trade wares, and from there they've grown.
Yeah. It is this notion that they want to have their pocket of the city because Baton Rouge is pretty large, right? It takes a hot minute to drive from one side to the other.
Right.
But everybody says, no, we want to better this piece. We want to better this piece. And it's, well, I'm not going to go and better downtown because I'm focused over here.
Right.
You know, we get that turf map where it's like, okay, we're going to focus on this square and let somebody else handle the rest of it, but not actually coming together saying, okay, who is going to take the rest of it? Who is going to come in and help this all? And not just say, well, we want to focus on the Bluebonnet corridor. We want to focus on the Essen Lane corridor. It's everything should be working together to build up the city as a whole and not saying, oh, well, we get more people to Essen, we get more people to Bluebonnet away from downtown. That's better for some reason.
But this is where I get lost in the mix because I don't believe in an either or.
Okay.
If we want to build up the medical corridor off of Essen or in between Essen and Bluebonnet, if we want to build up the medical corridor, that's great. That's an entire industry that we should be front runners on. Absolutely. If we want to build up downtown, it's not to the detriment of Segan Lane.
Right.
It's just building up downtown. It's not if one part of the city gets something, it's not you're not the kid in line at the grocery store who looks over the next line and says, but that kid got a piece of candy. How come I can't have candy?
It's a scarcity mentality.
Right.
It's a scarcity mentality. We're worried that if one is better, if one takes something, then there's going to be nothing left for the other.
Right.
When if we look at this from a holistic perspective and say, well, no, there's room for everybody, you know, and that's the whole point is there's room for everyone. And if we make the whole thing Everyone had their little pockets that they're working and build up together. It's not to take out the other. It's to have people say, look, we're great across the board. Come here, stay here, live here, work here.
Live here is a big part of this.
Yes.
Because when you have residents, you have a voice. The more residents you have in a particular place, the bigger the voice should be. So let's bring that back around to Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3. What are we doing to get more people downtown, living downtown?
Yeah, it's looking at how do we make sure that the residents that are there are livable and desirable and known, right? Letting people know it is a great place to live. But when that happens and you have people living there and they've parked their car, they don't want to go then drive around to go anywhere else. So what do you need when you're living? You need a place to get your groceries, place to get Mathern's right there. So that's great. Then you're going to need some type of pharmacy or something for people.
They've got one of those as well on 3rd Street, right? Is it?
Do they?
Pretty sure.
I don't see one.
Pharmacy to go?
We'll have to look. I drive 3rd Street every day and must be well hidden. And so you need then lighting. You need lighting. You need safety for people to feel comfortable walking around downtown and things to do in the evening, right? Typically, it's after 5. People are gone Monday through Wednesday. There's not much happening. A lot of restaurants aren't even open on Mondays. Is it on 3rd Street? I bet if you just
No,
Google.
it's gone.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
There was a prescriptions to go downtown.
I want to say you were wrong.
No. I wasn't wrong. It's not there anymore. There
So
was
it's not
one.
there.
There was one. So, but yes, you have full service grocery store, which we have. Pharmacy still in need. Although with delivery services, that kind of changes that game a little bit as far as how you define need, right?
Yeah, they can go and grab and bring it to you,
right?
But it's also then you're stuck in. You feel stuck because you have to call out and have somebody come bring you something.
Prescriptions to go still delivers downtown.
Oh,
see that?
That's great to know.
By the way, shout out to Whitney Hoffman Sale from the Downtown Development District for that little update.
There you go. That's great. So cool.
On the spot.
So you've got your prescriptions and stuff. So having that there, you've got the YMCA down there, so you got a gym. So it's livable. It's just how do we then tell people it's livable, and people then have a desire to go and live there.
Patrick Gremmillion's with us, host of the Patty G Show. We get together about once a month, talk business culture and business opportunity. It's been revolving around downtown a little bit lately because Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3 is huge right now. And we're kind of in a hurry up and wait phase of Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3. But there are so many different parts of this equation that we're kind of pulling away from a column that Julio Malera had in the Business Reporter or the Daily Report earlier this week. Patrick, you had on the notes here that you want to talk about walkability in public spaces as part of the downtown experience.
Yeah.
Dive into that.
So when I go downtown, I'm parking my car and I don't want to move it. So if wherever I'm going to go for that day has to be walkable, and it is, but there's some public safety when it comes to the walkability in downtown. We've got 2 folks we know about that are just constantly down there shouting obscenities at one another. And it's
really?
Oh yeah. There's like
where?
3rd and Laurel.
3rd and Laurel.
3rd and Laurel. There's 2 folks that are always there that I got a new team member in from Dallas today, and she was like, yeah, I was trying to scan my keypad to get in the building while I was getting cursed out by an individual right outside our building.
Wow.
And so that's the second one. So the other one, she kind of keeps to herself when she knows you're a regular.
Okay.
And they know who's a regular and who's not. So if you're a new person, they're going to come and approach you. But if they see you all the time, they don't come and approach you.
So
we've got that going downtown.
Let's go. This is better than Kevin.
Who's Kevin?
Oh, Kevin's the panhandler off Bluebonnet, man. He pops up at Costco every once in a while, scamming people out of money.
No, I didn't know this.
Dude's got a Facebook page.
His own Facebook page?
Where's Kevin?
Somebody has a Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know this.
So we got to get your profanity shouters a Facebook page, man. We got to get them on social. Maybe a little content, maybe a little posting up some video.
Ooh. Get a little video, get their name, get some information about them.
This is where's Kevin?
Where's Kevin? I've never heard of this.
Oh yeah, you got to check that out. Hey, we got a break coming. No, that's Waldo. Where's Waldo? You'll see. Scroll down, you'll see him. He's in the red and white striped shirt.
I'm so confused.
Hey, kudos to you. At least you found
I
us.
was like,
We've been looking for so long.
found him.
We've been looking for so long.
Here's your money now.
I thought that was a genuine picture of Devin.
Dude, that's the hardest I laughed on this shit. Is that him? No, it's Waldo. Well, I'm glad you found him. Oh,
I don't know what to do.
Brian was so nonchalant about no, it's Waldo.
But like his face is imposed over.
I didn't realize that. I just saw he was wearing Waldo-esque attire.
Oh man.
So is that
that's him?
Okay.
That's him at the Circle K on Essen.
He doesn't look like a panhandler.
What does that mean?
He's got an electric bike. Like he clearly lives at a place. He's always got different clothes on.
Yeah.
No, this lady downtown is the same outfit every day.
I didn't say Kevin was homeless. Just said he scams people for money. I don't know how we got the how did we get on that?
We're talking about walkability and public safety. I said people want to feel safe and not have profanity shouted at them when they're walking downtown.
If someone's shouting profanities at you, are you unsafe?
Thanks. Make you feel a little unsafe.
I mean, if they're like aggressive, they come at you.
Well, but they get close and they just yell at you. Yeah, they're not physically doing anything, but does someone have to physically do something before you feel unsafe?
If they aggressively come at you, that's bad.
They're not aggressive about it, but like when you're walking, you want to walk and feel like you're not going to be approached, right?
Right. As long as they're not approaching. Oh, like every LSU home game, after the game's over, as I'm leaving the stadium, there are homeless people sleeping on the sidewalk outside the stadium. I don't feel unsafe because they're out cold. Like they're not approaching.
Well, yeah,
but they're there.
Right. But then if they wake up, start walking at you and following you and yelling at you, do you then feel unsafe?
Yeah, if they followed me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Does this person approach? Is what you're saying?
No, they will follow you.
Shouting obscenities at somebody and then following somebody are two different things. Following's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah, we have coffee shops, we have grocery stores, we have a handful of things of nightlife downtown. But then it comes for those people coming in, parking.
Perfect. Yeah.
Like the LASM gala.
I needed I wanted to go get a medicine ball tea from Starbucks yesterday. No parking.
Oh, in front of Starbucks on 3rd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3rd in Florida. No parking. There was no parking.
Yep.
The closest I could have gotten was 2 blocks away. And eventually I was like, no, screw that. I'm not walking 2 blocks to get a tea. So
why don't you want to walk 2 blocks to get a tea, man?
Because it's a tea. If I'm going to a meeting, I'll walk 2 blocks. If I'm going to a lunch, I'll walk 2 blocks.
If you want a tea, that's where you draw it.
Yeah.
Do they offer, can you order and have them walk it to your car?
I have no idea.
Pull the McDonald's commercial, drive around the block until they bring your food to you?
I have no idea.
But I think it's also that holistic approach. Everybody's waiting for like one big anchor to show up. And so they're just holding, right?
Yeah.
They're just holding out, not doing anything.
Right. $7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Talking a little bit about reviving downtown Baton Rouge with Patrick Gremillion. Julio Malera had a great column about the comparisons between Baton Rouge and Columbus, Ohio. Patrick, you were talking a little bit about one of the things that we do wrong here is we were coming back in from break. You were saying was everybody's waiting for somebody else to make the first move.
Right. So, when looking into this, you look at places like Chattanooga and Des Moines. They have tax credits for historic tax credits when you go and rebuild things and convert them for different use.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all these building owners downtown that own these buildings that they're always for lease, they're always for sale, but they're all just waiting for one big anchor to come in. And I feel like that's what it really represents as a bigger picture for Baton Rouge is everybody's just like, well, let's just get one big anchor and then everything will get to follow. And it's not this exploring a trickle effect. Well, hey, if you get your building up and running, maybe I'll get my building up and running. Then that person will get his building up and running. We can utilize his historic tax credits. We can take it one by one. And then by the end of 3 years, when Plan BR3 is done, look where we'll be. They're like, let's just wait until Plan BR3 has some big idea to then actually take action.
But until then, it's like a junior high dance.
Yeah.
Like everybody's standing on the wall and nobody
Everybody's
wants
on
to
the
be
wall,
first one on
nobody's
floor.
in the middle, man.
Right. So
someone needs to break out the worm.
This is what I'm saying. So how do we cross that threshold on a small business front?
I think
I feel like small business is the catalyst of this.
Absolutely.
Baton Rouge, we outpunch our weight a lot when it comes to small business escalating into something lightning in a bottle scenario.
Right.
The Marucci's of the world, the barbecue guys of the world, and on the restaurant front, the walk-ons, the Canes, the Smalls, like we catch lightning in a bottle and take off.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to do that again is to do it again.
Right. But that doesn't happen every single time.
No, it doesn't.
And so it's those, to your point, getting the small businesses to say you can be small, but then we can have a lot of you. Right. And I think having the tech park there downtown, right above Mathern's, is hopefully a push in the right direction.
Yeah.
Having people be coming downtown, they've got mixed office space. They're going to have the ability for people to create technology right there on 3rd, right above Mathern's. And I think that's one of the steps taking us forward is like, let's get people here. Let's do things that we can collectively see a small margin of improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But then to your point, you're going to have folks say, well, now you're taking away from Florida Boulevard, right? And it's, let's let something else come there.
Well, okay, but how much do we have to have the back end filled before we're able to make the front end deal? I would rather make that trade-off moving forward and then worry about filling the old space on Florida Boulevard later on.
Absolutely.
And growth, and see, because if you're not going to take that step forward, you're hindering growth. It's got to, necessity is the mother of invention. We've talked about that last hour. Necessity is the mother of invention. So until you create the necessity, you can't have the invention.
Yeah, and you have to be willing to do it one little step at a time.
Yeah. And growth, and this doesn't have to revolve around downtown.
No.
And as much as I love downtown, and as much as Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3 is going to be about downtown, it's about the growth of Baton Rouge as a whole. There might be downtown businesses that outgrow downtown.
And it's so then it should become a cycle, right?
Right.
It's like you get in the space, you outgrow it, now you move to a bigger space, let someone else come in.
Right.
That needs that smaller space.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, a permanent seat forever, but it's maybe a temporary holding ground, and that's okay too.
We got 30 seconds left. The historical tax credits thing.
Yeah.
We've got to make that process easier.
We do.
I understand that it costs more in payroll than you get back in the credits.
It does. And you have
Brutal.
there's one individual who does it well on the movie side. We got to get somebody doing that same thing for historic renovation side.
It's a business in and of itself.
Absolutely.
He's Patrick Gremillion, host of the Patty G Show. We always appreciate the time.
Thank you, man.
Hour 3 is next. All right.
We got to get the historians looking into what we've got down there and then have them talk about it.
6, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, JP producing, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. The last IT call you're going to have to make is 180 Pros. 330-2200 to 180 Pros. We've got a busy hour lined up for you this hour. We've got Chris Blair going to be talking a little LSU football. And then Chris's Specialty Foods. 2 separate Chris's. Chris's Specialty Foods could be in. Prepping you for Thanksgiving is what we're doing today. I don't know the exact menu for what we got going on, but we'll have Coben Linedecker in with us. He is always unbelievably informative and always on point. So that'll be Foodie Friday coming your way later on this hour. Right now, we start off the third hour with This Day in History.
Pew, pew. Moving fast this this
by the
show,
way,
huh?
just a
Wow.
quick note. Scott Ballard did land safely.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Just circling up in the air like that. I don't know.
I know.
I'm glad
he'll be on Monday.
All right. That sounds good. Hey, starting off in 1874, the first cartoon depicting an elephant as the Republican Party symbol is published by Thomas Nast.
Really?
That's where it began.
Okay.
1874.
1874. Did he give a reason why?
No, I don't see one.
Okay.
Do you know a reason why?
Why the Republican is the elephant is the symbol of the Republicans?
Oh, I didn't
wait,
know
I
if you-
knew
I
this.
thought you
I
were setting
knew
me up.
this. Wait, I used to know it.
Oh, good. No. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I didn't know if you knew.
I did.
Hey, this day in Louisiana history, 1927, the Huey P. Long Bridge was dedicated.
No kidding.
Yeah. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, 1962. Richard Nixon tells press he won't be available to kick around anymore after losing the election for governor in California. 1972, Attorney Joe Biden is elected to the U.S. Senate.
1972?
72.
So that dude has been in Washington since before I was alive. How about it?
Wow. Hey, in 76, Gone with the Wind premiered.
Okay.
So
wait, what?
Let's see.
Wait, no. That's not right.
Oh, it makes its broadcast television day debut.
Thank you. Okay.
Broadcast debut on NBC.
Yeah.
Probably should have
Way
read the
different.
rest of that, right?
Yeah,
I was
probably.
thinking, 76. Yeah, it's kind of no, but yeah, makes its television debut. 1991. This is Magic Johnson announces he's retiring from the LA Lakers, and with that announcement,
in 91,
yeah, and with that announcement, says he has HIV.
Yeah.
So that was,
yeah,
man. Let's see, year 2000 here. Controversial U.S. presidential election between George W. Bush and Al Gore is inconclusive.
Yep.
So
The
there's
infamous
that.
hanging chads.
That's right. And in 2019, we were talking music earlier. Song lyrics have become sadder, says researchers who studied 50 years of lyrics at the University of Exeter. Yeah, so they published the Evolutionary Human Sciences article that stated such. 2019. Have we just gotten sadder? Just more
I don't
depressing
know.
songs?
The fact, I'm a little more sad because I know somebody studied this.
Right.
I know that somebody put grant dollars towards this. I know somebody is getting paid
Yes.
to download the latest Taylor Swift just to see what she's angry about.
That's right.
Or sad about.
That's what it was. Anything else on this day?
No. I don't listen to sad music.
Really?
Not really.
Something a little.
Why would
just to feel
why
something,
listen
you know?
to I mean I don't know.
Come on,
music is escapism.
It is. Some people just want to escape into depression. Maybe some people don't deal with
That's
it.
not an escape. That is an
people-
unsuccessful escape.
Maybe it's maybe it's the opposite, you know.
Sure.
We were talking about Adele earlier. That's kind of sad.
Is it?
Maybe. Marie Curie today. Birthdays. First woman to win a Nobel Prize. Let's see. Singer, well, keeping it with singers, Lord today as well.
Oh my goodness.
What's she
From
been up
Royals.
to? Yeah.
Yeah,
Joni
she had her
Mitchell
one
as
hit.
well. Joni Mitchell. Adam Devine as well today.
Divine.
Divine. Okay. Who else on your end?
Well, dude, there's plenty. There's a lot of birthdays today.
Christopher Knight. Why do I remember that name? Christopher Knight, actor Christopher Knight.
There's Johnny Rivers' 83rd birthday today. David Guetta is 58.
David Guetta.
David Guetta's 58. What? Is that crazy?
Is he still he's still doing the music thing? I guess
Well,
so,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Christopher Knight was one of the Bradys.
He is. I'm looking him up. Yeah, that's why. Okay. That's why I remember his name. Let's see. King Kong Bundy. Whoa.
Okay. Got a couple more here. How about Joe Niekro?
Okay.
Pitcher Joe Niekro. Was it Joe or Phil that got caught scuffing the baseball? And like when the umpire came out to search him, he like threw the little emery board and he's like, I don't know, and throws it out there. It was Joe. I'm pretty sure that was Joe. So it's Joe Niekro's birthday today. Former LSU and Major League Baseball pitcher Russ Springer is his birthday today. Our own Gordy Rush is his birthday today.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Let's see. Moving on to deaths here.
Sure.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Okay.
And Leonard Cohen. Those are the two big ones I had. And you know what? I got one more. Joe Frazier as well today.
Okay.
Joe Frazier. Too.
All right. Yeah, more than one boxer too, because Gene Tunney died on this day in 1978.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. As far as national days go here, some of them are kind of silly, but this is actually a serious one. National Cancer Awareness Day.
All right, we can roll with that for sure. I mean,
usually they're kind of
goofy.
That's a
waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one's worth mentioning for sure.
Definitely go with that. All right. It is 8:13 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Quick break, come back. We'll talk a little LSU football with Chris Blair next. Oh. Gordy and my mother-in-law have the same birthday.
Did you mention your brother-in-law?
No. Why? Number one, she's in Pearl River, not listening. And number two,
Mic back on. But I took your mic off.
No, that's Waldo.
Is that him? No, it's Waldo.
You got his number?
I think so. Let me check. Yes. Hello, good morning, sir. This is JP with Brian Haldane. Yes, sir. Looking to have you up here in just another minute or so. All right. Thank you.
FlyBTR.com is the website for the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com. While nationally, we're looking at cancellations of flights all over the country in the top 40 markets, or top 40 airports, I should say. FlyBTR.com. You got no problems right there. And, oh, by the way, they've got flights built out, direct flights for a number of LSU away games. For example, there's a flight leaving today that goes to Birmingham if you wanted to go see LSU take on Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Probably a bit late to get in on that, but when the Oklahoma game rolls around, they've got a direct flight built out for that as well. Learn more at flybtr.com. I'll be flying on a Baton Rouge for Washington Mardi Gras coming up in January. Great direct flight from Baton Rouge to Reagan National. Comes home same day. I'll be coming home 4 days after that, but it comes home same day if you want to get your business taken care of same day. Learn more at flybtr.com. Like I said, LSU on the road tomorrow at Alabama, a return to football, as it were. Joining us now to talk about that, we got Voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair. Voice, how are you, man?
I'm good. Yeah, man. Football. We're talking football now. That's the fun part. That's why we love it.
Yes, absolutely. So, I want to start with our interim head coach. You got a little one-on-one time with him yesterday. Well, you had to share him with the rest of TJ Ribs, but on the coaches show last night, give us the vibe on Frank Wilson being in the big chair.
Yeah, I mean, I think the vibe was, and it was pretty clear, actually. The approach that Coach Wilson, this staff, and this team, if you go back and listen to his press conference, really all of his press meetings, you'll hear him talk about, just wanting to go out and play. Just have fun, let it all hang out. And it's kind of this sense of it's LSU versus the world now, playing with house money. Everybody's written you off. Some of your goals are now gone. So now who are you playing for? And as he said many times, there's coaches who may decide to go on or stay here, whatever the case may be. You got to put good tape together for coaches. And if you're a player, whether you have eligibility left, Brian, or whether you've got an idea of maybe hearing your name called in the draft. I mean, you've got 4 games starting tomorrow to put good tape out there. So, I mean, there's a motive for everybody to pull together, keep the ship upright and go fight. And that's one of the things Frank said last night. He said, look, I can't promise you what the outcome of the game will be. But my job and our job over the last 2 weeks is to make sure wherever we go and whoever we play, we're going there to fight.
Is there a way to know before kickoff tomorrow what we're good at right now? Because there's been such an emphasis on, Coach Wilson has said we're going to run the football. Coach Wilson has addressed physicality. Is there a way to know if we weren't capable of it or we just weren't getting it out of the players under Kelly?
Well, I think Frank was pretty clear last night. I asked him point blank. I said, look, when you try to run the football, I mean, you've made no bones about it. You've said it every time in front of a camera and mic. We're going to run the football, tongue in cheek and sometimes dead serious. And, Frank's reply to me was, I get this all the time. And I told the team this over the last 2 weeks. There's 2 different things when you say you can't run the ball or you don't run the ball. So he's made a clear distinction between can't and trying to do it. So that tells me that there's probably going to be some schematic differences. I don't know that we'll see a ton, I should say, of RPOs and zone reads. I think they've worked to install some power running packages, maybe even the old toss dive. I think they're going to try different things. I think from a personnel standpoint, I'll be shocked if Harlem Berry doesn't get his second straight start.
Yeah.
Do I think that, look, this Alabama team playing as good as anybody in the country, Brian, I'm the first to tell you that. But they're not doing it the way we're accustomed to Alabama doing it. They're only averaging 119 yards per game on the ground against SEC opponents. They're the second leading passing attack in the league. Ty Simpson is putting together a Heisman caliber, at least conversation. And at the end of the day, they're still possessing the football more than any other team in the SEC, and they're doing it with the quarterback and receivers, not necessarily the run game. And on the defensive side, they're on the bottom half of SEC teams defensively stopping the run. So, yeah, I think LSU's definitely going to try to run it more. And I think the jury's still out on whether or not they can run the ball more effectively. We'll find out.
We're talking with Voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair, previewing tomorrow's LSU versus Alabama game. Did you think you would ever see the day where Tiger fans would look forward to the return of the toss dive?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of, it is crazy when you think back to, again. And the thing is, I think that fans have a point that you cannot become predictable. Mm-hmm. And let's face it, there have been years where LSU was going to run the football, and hey, if you stop it, guess what? We're probably going to lose. If you don't, we're going to win. And then you've gotten to a point here at LSU, and as Frank, Coach Wilson pointed out last night, this isn't, a team that, at some point in its history was known for running the football. This is a team that was built on running the football. Like he said, if you go back and look at the big names, go back as far as you want. I will show you one of the best running backs in the country, and they always seem to play at LSU. So again, he feels like it's an identity for this program, And that's why I think, again, he's really going to push to run the football and not go away from it if it doesn't work the first couple of times.
Voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair with us. Chris, was it a blessing or a curse to have the coach fired heading into a bye week? And let me give you the background on why I'm asking that is because so many headlines, so many distractions. There's a lot of scuttlebutt and talk within that week. So LSU had a week to flush all that out and then a week to focus on themselves. Was it actually kind of a blessing that it happened when it did?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no two ways about it. I mean, first for that very big reason you just talked about. And I asked Coach Wilson last night, I said, okay, things go down, you get the call, you're in charge. Like, what were the first things you thought of that you knew had to be done right away? And one of the things was immediately go in on Sunday, call the guys in on Monday, when in a normal off week, they would have had that Monday off. Mm-hmm. They brought them back in, and they wanted to bring them back in just to get them that familial and that closeness and that togetherness that, yeah, right now there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of unknown. But look, we're here. I'm here. I'm going to be here. And he hit it right on. Here's guys. Some guys were upset. Some guys didn't care. Whatever the case may be, we got to stick together. And then they went immediately back into football. So you have that extra week that's going to help you. Should there be any lingering issues or any lingering questions, by the time they rolled around to this week, man, all indications are they were locked in, working on the game plan and ready to go to Tuscaloosa and finally get back to playing football, because it really seems like it's been a long, long time since they've been on the field.
It's going to feel like game one. I mean, it's for a fan's perspective, it's going to feel like game one, and in a lot of ways it is. Chris, let's get into a little bit about other potential changes that we might see along the way. The shift with moving Wilson over, there's also a shift in offensive coordinator. Do we know what to expect with Adkins, or is it going to be kind of a, when we turn on the TV, we'll learn?
Well, I mean, I've worked with Alex when he was at Georgia Southern and the Eagles, I think in 2014, 2015, led the country in rushing yards per game. So Alex knows a little bit about running the football. At the time, he was the offensive line coach, but worked hand in hand pretty much as a run game coordinator as the offensive line coach, even though I don't know that was a title back then. Mm-hmm. So, to go back to your other question, I don't think Alex Atkins is going to shy away from running the football. I mean, he's been dedicated to it. He's a student of it. And he's had pretty good offenses. So I think that's where I think that's where the start will look a little bit different for LSU. And Coach Wilson said it last night. He said, look, we put everything up on the board, threw everything out on the table. What is it we're good at? Okay, let's do that some more, and let's build on that. What is it that we really struggle with? Okay, throw that out the window. So again, they put everything out, and then they took what they've seen, and they know based on practice and based on games what this team does well in all phases. And so to say it's going to look a lot like what we've seen through the first 8 weeks, I can't promise that it won't, right, but I don't expect it to.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we didn't see some new names pop up. Names that really haven't been excelling so far this season that might surprise us, because this is a new window and a new opportunity. Like you said at the beginning, Chris, it's you've got a 4-game audition for the draft. You also have a 4-game audition for the transfer portal, if that's the route that some of the guys want to take, which, interestingly enough, isn't there a window that opens up when a coach leaves to where you can hit the transfer portal and no one has?
Yeah, I mean, that was the other big thing that, I think Coach Wilson has done a tremendous job, and his entire staff is, everybody was sitting back, both, Tiger fans nervously and every other school in the country anxiously to see if those guys would jump and immediately just clean their locker and go. Well, so far we haven't had that mass exodus. And again, it goes back to what Frank said. It's us against the world, guys. I mean, we've got 4 games to play. We're going to play, 3 SEC teams, including the number 4 ranked team in the country who has their eyes set on the college football playoff with just 1 loss this far. So let's just go out, let it all hang out, and go out there and see what happens. And, so far, I think the team has bought into it, not to mention the fact that you've got your first signing day coming up within a month.
Right.
And they've still held that pretty firm. So this staff has done a tremendous job, which, again, I think speaks volumes to, yes, coaches are important. Don't misunderstand me. But even in this day of NIL and how much have you slotted for an X receiver and all that goes on, there still is something to putting on the purple and gold. And I think that's a big part. And I think that's a message that Frank is giving. And it's not just lip service. The guys know it because obviously he grew up here and he loves LSU.
Got just a couple minutes left with Chris Blair, voice of the Tigers. All right, you kind of gave us a little bit of the precursor for Alabama. We know a little bit about Ty Simpson. What's the rest of the scouting report? What are we looking for?
Well, I think it's a team that many thought was, dead and buried after week number 1 with that horrible showing against Florida State. And then after that, as I said earlier, Ty Simpson's, I think, at this point, well on his way to having a seat at the table in New York when they decide the Heisman at the end of the year. And it's an Alabama team that is ball controlled, but they're doing it with the passing attack, which is completely opposite of what we've known for those so many years. But it's a very talented wide receiver room. I mean, you just go through. I think they got 5 guys that so far in the year have 16 catches or more. They spread the ball around. They'll take their deep shots. They use the intermediate passing game to move the ball in spite of a running attack that can do some damage. It just hasn't been as consistent. But, I've said it for years. Until Alabama goes back-to-back 6-win seasons, all this talk of the Alabama of old being over with just isn't true. Yeah, it is true they can't stack 5 5-star linebackers in a row.
Right.
That's probably hard to do. But they still got the best players, some of the best players in the country, and they will continue to do that until I said they go back-to-back 6-6.
What do we do well that they don't do well and vice versa to where LSU would have a shot tomorrow?
Well, again, I said they're not a great run-stopping team. At least they haven't been up to this point. So if you telling me that you're working on some different run schemes, which is more power-related as opposed to RPO and zone reads, where you kind of got to have your quarterback to run a little bit to make the defense stay honest. Otherwise, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. So I think you'll see a little different run scheme. But I also think that it's going to be important for LSU to not abandon the pass, but if they can get the run going, don't allow Alabama to just sit back there and go, okay, you can't run, so we'll just go ahead and put 8 in coverage. And this is a defense under Kane Womack, the coordinator, who kind of came up as a 3-3-5 guy. And we've seen that from Louisiana Tech. We saw it from Ole Miss. We saw it at times against Vanderbilt. So teams have kind of figured out we don't think they can run, so let's just clog up the passing lane. And then I think on the defensive side, it's again, yes, it's a pass-intensive offense for Alabama, but you still can't let them run the football. Right. So you have to keep that. Now the question becomes, do you trust your secondary to be men on islands against a very talented receiving core so that maybe you can sneak an extra 5 or 6 going for Ty Simpson? Can you disrupt the quarterback pocket while at the same time covering an elite group of receivers? I think that's where rubber meets road on Saturday.
Kickoff is at 6:45. The network pregame beginning at 4:45. As of now, Chris, the FAA has not canceled any flights between here and Tuscaloosa, so you'll be wheels up shortly. Don't forget to wish Gordy Rush a happy birthday and have a good call tomorrow.
Absolutely, big day for Mr. Rush, and I'm sure everybody will celebrate on the flight up there.
We'll hear from you tomorrow. He's Chris Blair, voice of the Tigers. Whoop, he's out. All right, we got to get the news, traffic, weather. Foodie Friday's up next. Cornbread turkey breast. Love it. So, we're going to show it off the camera. Just look at that. For the website first. So we'll sit down and chat, and we'll show that off during the break. What are the sides here? It's green beans. Okay. No, he did not. He didn't predict it. He said it was ridiculous that we're paying somebody $100 million.
Oh, good, brother. How about you?
Business is good. Yeah, I figured that. That's why I wanted to get you in early rather than that last week before Thanksgiving. So. Oh man, do I have questions for? We're not doing beef, so we're gonna skip the intro. Do I have the questions? $8:36 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Got to remind you about 5-Star Printing and Signs 271-4096 for Danny and his team at 5-Star Printing and Signs. Whether you're talking about business cards, brochures, any signage, anything you've got printed, 5-Star Printing and Signs can help you out. Oh, by the way, they do vehicle wraps as well. Talking frequently about how important branding is these days. Your brand's got to be everywhere. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind. So whether you're talking about wrapping your vehicle or putting your company's logo on a Yeti mug, 5-Star Printing and Signs has got you covered. Check them out online at printshop5.com. I would call, though, 271-4096, 271-4096 for 5-Star Printing and Signs. All right, the countdown to the holiday season is on, and we do not skip Thanksgiving around here. I know some folks go right from Halloween straight to Christmas. No. Thanksgiving's a big deal. And we bring on Coben Leindecker from Chris's Specialty Foods. How are you, sir?
Good, man. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back on here. I reached out so in the past we've kind of like pushed and you come on like the week before Thanksgiving and everything's already done and you're like, yeah, we're sold out, Brian. We're done. So I was like, let's get you on the front end of November this time around to talk a little bit about what goes on for Thanksgiving over at Chris's Specialty Foods. So give us the background a little bit. Like, how do things like start cranking up around the office?
Yeah. So of course everybody is wanting to get in their holiday orders. And once November 1st comes around, people start franticking, talking to families. What are we gonna do? So it starts to get pretty busy around the stores. We are now taking orders at all 4 locations of our stores. All you have to do is call in. We can handle your bird, your sides, your gravy, your soups. We can handle anything. Everything's on the website of what we offer, and you can have a great Louisiana home cooked Thanksgiving meal, and all you have to do is heat it up.
See, I love that. There's no reason to like. I don't know why. I do know why, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know why people bury themselves in 3 straight days of the hottest of kitchens and like sweating and stressing, and it's so much easier when you let a pro do it.
Yeah. And then
oh, by the way, they're better at it.
And then you see every Thanksgiving on social media, all the grease fires and everything from doing the turkeys. It's not worth it. Let us take care of it for you.
We're going to talk about the turkeys in a little bit. You brought in some turkey for us to sample today as well. But I want to start off with some of the sides.
Yeah.
Give us the more popular ones, and then we'll talk about your favorites and maybe an underrated one as well. What's most popular? What flies out of Chris's the most?
So of course our cornbread dressing that we make with our house-made pork. It is by far our most popular Thanksgiving side. And then I'd probably go turkey gravy. We have a turkey gravy that is in a boiling bag that all you have to do is drop in boiling water for 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Cut the bag open and you have homemade gravy right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then of course we have our candy yam casserole, green bean casserole, mac and cheese. We have all of it. And one of my favorite sides that we do is our cream of spinach. It goes great with a steak, but I love it with anything. I'm a big fan of cream spinach, so that's one of my favorites.
I'm in that boat, man.
Yeah.
You mentioned with a steak.
Yes,
it's a go-to.
It's the best steak.
It's a go-to.
It's the best steak.
Either cream of spinach or asparagus to go with a steak.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
But cream spinach can go. I mean, it's so versatile.
Yes.
It really goes well with chicken too.
Yes.
So you put it. That's poultry. That's bird.
Yeah.
That puts it right next to turkey as
Absolutely.
well. Underrated. What's the one that you feel like nobody really calls on that they should?
One of my favorites is our rice dressing. We sell a pretty good bit of it. And we offer it in 2 different ways. We offer it in a 2-pound pan, an 8-pound pan, and then again, if you didn't want to get that much, we have that boil bag option with the rice dressing also. So where all you have to do is drop it in a pot of boiling water for 8 minutes, cut that open, and you have what we prepared as 3 to 4 hour Louisiana homemade rice dressing in 8 minutes. So it's really easy.
Chris's Specialty Foods, by the way, it's chrisspecialtyfoods.com is the website. Great place to start you off looking through everything if you wanted to go ahead and start thinking about making your orders. I would go buy, though. I mean, you have 4 locations.
Yep.
Well, one's down in Lakeview.
Yes.
But that's for our Baton Rouge audience. You got the home base right off of Millerville.
Yeah.
You got Prairieville and
Highland.
Highland.
We moved
Highland.
it. Yeah,
That's
we
right.
moved it to Highland, right across from Fino's,
Yep.
and then Central Wax Road, right by the high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Central location yet.
Yeah,
so-
that one's new.
Which means Wade Evans is going to get mad at me 'cause I mentioned Central without going there.
Yes.
We got Coben in with us. All right, let's talk turkey. Let's talk bird. So many different possible ways to prepare it. Fried turkeys are they still the most popular?
Yeah. It would go fried turkeys much more than the smoked.
Okay.
Yeah.
But smoked turkey you could do so much more with as far as stuffing is concerned. I mean,
Yeah.
dressing, it's dressing if it's on the side, it's stuffing if it's physically in the turkey.
Yeah.
So what do folks really go after when they go after the stuffed bird?
Yeah. So of course we have the fried and smoked option, but then we have our Louisiana turduckens. Everybody if you're from here has probably heard of a turducken. If not, it is a whole turkey that we debone and stuff, and we stuff it with 4 duck breasts, 4 chicken breasts, and then whatever stuffing side you want. So you can get a crawfish stuffed turducken, a shrimp, a rice dressing, cornbread, boudin. We offer all different types, and our most popular would be our cornbread stuffed turducken.
Mhm.
That is Louisiana's favorite. They love that. And if a very cool option, if you don't have, let's say you're not feeding 12 to 15 people, let's say you're a family of 4, we have the turducken roll, which is just the turkey breast of the bird, which is a much smaller option. If you don't want to do the whole bird, you could just feed a family of 4 that way.
As this is Foodie Friday, we do try to give some, hints, some tips, some tricks, some hacks.
Yeah.
For those that want to take on their own turducken, walk me through a little bit about process and what the most important parts of that are, because when you're talking about like chicken and turkey and duck all together, your temperatures have to be right. They have to be right for the longest period of time.
Yeah.
So what do folks need to know if they wanted to tackle it on their own?
Yeah, so it is very, like you said, it's very easy to overcook turkey and dry it out.
And very scary if you undercook it.
Yes. So how we have it down to a science. We've been doing it for 30 plus years, but how we make sure every bird comes out to the same temperature, holds moisture, holds juiciness, is we temp all of our birds in the thigh and the breast. And we let that temperature sit on our smoker or oven whenever we cook, and we're able to track the bird that way. So if you were to take on your own turducken, I would say temp readings and covering the bird to make sure it doesn't dry out is the most important step.
Absolutely. The covering the bird is because that's where
That's what
it
holds your
loses it.
moisture.
You can physically keep a better eye on it, but
Yeah.
no, you need you need it tucked in like you're going to bed at night.
Yes, absolutely.
But honestly, hands it off. For what for the effort you have to put in,
Yeah.
the time you have to put in, the cost you have to put in versus what it costs on the back end to just order from Chris's Specialty Foods. It's just let the pros handle it. I just can't recommend that enough. Meal bundles y'all have.
Yeah. So we have different options on the website, or if you call in, we are running get any of the smoked, fried, or stuffed birds, and it comes with two 2-pound sides, which feed 3 to 4 people, and then you can also add a turkey gravy in that. So it's a very you get your bang for your buck right there.
Yeah.
It really if you were to buy it separately, you save much more money if you do the bundle, and you can feed probably 12 to 15 people with that bundle.
Got a question coming. Can you fry a turducken or do you have to bake or broil?
I have never personally fried a turducken. You could, but I think keeping it together and hold and without it falling apart, I think would be very difficult. I
Yeah.
think by far the best option is the oven or the smoker.
Okay. Smoker's an underrated option for that,
My-
because when you start mixing the smoke with the duck fat that's inside there, at those pick up each other's flavors pretty well.
I'm a big smoker guy. Most of everything I do goes on the smoker, and if it calls for a sear or something, I'll smoke it first and then give it that crust on the sear.
Where do you like on the grill?
Yeah. So I'll heat up. I'll do a smoke. I'll smoke whatever I'm cooking first, and then I'll throw a cast iron skillet on the smoker. Actually,
Oh, okay.
let it sit on there.
Yeah.
Get hot, and then do my sear that way.
Absolutely love that. Love that option. Back to the classic turkeys. Your guidelines for frying are what?
You want to do about 30 minutes per pound of your bird. So once you get the weight of your bird, you want to fry off the weight of the bird. We usually do anywhere we do anywhere from 10 to 12 pound birds, and whenever you fry, the bird does hold a lot of moisture.
Mhm.
So you will lose about 2 pounds. We usually like to sit around that 40 to 50-minute mark, just depending on the size of the bird, and you want to sit in between 350 to 375 degrees, nothing above or below that.
Okay. All right. And as we talked about, I don't know if this was during the break or as we just first got started, but don't be one of the ones that ends up on YouTube.
Yes, you see it every
You're gonna
year.
end up on YouTube. You're going to end up on TikTok. You're going to end up on Reels when, the smoke comes up, the whole thing, you drop it in the fryer.
And all
it's
it
not
takes is a
thawed.
drop of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can get bad quick.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason to do that. We've got Coben in from Chris's Specialty Foods. Man, I know it's Thanksgiving, and I know you got to get your orders in before the 21st. I think is the deadline.
Yeah, so the week before Thanksgiving, we'll stop taking orders, but of course we'll make extra, and we will have first come first serve.
But it is also football season, and
Yes.
y'all aren't done on that front yet. What's
Nope.
been hot for football season?
Of course, all of our hand cut steaks, and everybody knows us from our stuffed chickens. We offer 8 different types of stuffed chickens, and we have the cold front coming in next week. We have 30s, 30-degree weather coming in, and of course, we have all of our boil bag options, our gumbos, etouffees, soups. So you have all of that homemade cooked food in 8 to 10 minutes.
I will be coming by for some of those.
Yeah.
Those are unbelievably convenient.
So easy.
Yeah.
When people find out about that, their jaw hits the ground.
Yeah, it's so good too. All right, we got 30 seconds till break. What are we? Because when we go to break, I'll dive in and make a pig of myself. So what are we trying today?
Yeah, today I brought a cornbread stuffed turkey breast that I threw on the smoker yesterday.
Okay.
And then I threw in some of our favorite sides: green bean casserole, our candy yams, and our cornbread dressing.
All right, we'll try all these during the break. On air, you're going to hear Your Money Now. You're going to hear another check of traffic on Facebook Live. We're about to dig in. He's Coben Lindecker from Chris's Specialty Foods. We'll be back right after this. Oh. Now, before I dig in, so we still only have the one camera. I'm efforting to get one over here. That might be a pipe dream. So. Let's hold on to this. They don't do it. I know it's always tricky. It's the sides. So gorgeous. I think they moved all the cutleries out.
So easy. There's no need to do it yourself these days.
Dude, I need to. Sure. the website right now. Man, I bet you guys killed the Buddha King Cake.
Oh yeah, hundreds a week. Yeah.
And it's kill the mice. All right, we'll start with the green bean, y'all. What's in here with the green beans for the casserole here?
It's a cream of mushroom and golden velvet base.
Golden velvet? What is that?
It's like a cheddar. Yeah. Cheddar
Very,
cheese.
very cheesy flavor.
Yeah.
Very, very cheesy flavor. I'm tasting a good bit of pepper in there as well.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Coming from Chris is gonna have our Cajun seasoning.
Yep. That's so okay. So it's got the I think it's out there. It's not here, but we have y'all see. No, it's downstairs in the kitchen.
Yeah,
we've got y'all see. It's like we got y'all seasoning on hand all the time. So good little pop of the seasoning. Good little pop of sweetness from an onion too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so they all kind of work in tandem here.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on with that. Honestly, not even tasting the cream of mushroom because that cheese.
Yeah,
the cheese pops out good. All right, let's go with the dressing next because I already know the yams are freaking dessert.
Yes, they are.
Oh God. Okay. First of all, if cornbread dressing isn't dried out, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to dry out a cornbread dressing than it is a turkey.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, we sell nearly 3,000 pounds of that during Thanksgiving.
Okay, and a lot of heart goes into that. What else am I tasting in there along with the cornbread?
So we have our pork, and then the how we keep it moisture is we do a egg and water base once it's already cooked, not even baked into it. So as soon as we take it out the oven, we get extra water and egg into it, and it helps keep the moisture in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, really like that. Yes, and the pork does.
Yes.
It brings a lot of different flavor to it.
Yeah.
Kind of sweetness of the corn in the cornbread is front and center to be sure, but everything else kind of plays its role as well. All right, yams, I already know.
Yeah, the candy yams are so good. Marshmallows, brown sugar, cinnamon, all of it.
Pecan in there?
Yeah,
yep.
Pecan.
Yep. All right. Get over to the turkey. Do it with the dressing first, and then I'll just eat the turkey by itself. All right. I was expecting the smoke to be heavier. It's not, as the smoke isn't heavy at all. No. That's it's a nice little background flavor to it.
Yeah.
But like the turkey itself, the dressing's doing all the work here. But the turkey itself, juiciness to it to be sure.
Yeah.
Very, very flavorful of the turkey. But when you smoke a turkey, it can suck in all the smoke.
Yeah.
And even worse, sometimes can trade it off for the moisture that it had.
Yeah, and the coverage, making sure it's always covered, also helps with that. Not
Okay.
smoking.
Okay. So covering the turkey in the smoker means you're getting a little bit less smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. So, love that. It's seasoned on the outside with
Chris is seasoning on the outside, and then we have our Cajun butter injection inside.
Game changer. Absolute game changer. Okay, so tried everything during the break. I want to start with the turkey here, the smoked turkey with the cornbread dressing inside it. First of all, it's easy to dry out a turkey. It's easier to dry out cornbread dressing. And when you put the two together, unbelievable the level of moisture that you've got with the both of them, which could very easily be working for the other team. But these two combined so well. All right, let's first this. hint of smokiness.
Yeah.
You smoke this turkey, but it's a hint of smokiness to it. The Chris's seasoning, turkey flavor as well. There's a butteriness to this as well.
Yeah, we have our Cajun butter injection in that, which is
Okay.
a big part.
Okay.
Injection and the bird is what keeps the moisture and gives it that juiciness whenever it's done. So a Cajun butter is very important when you're doing your turkey.
And the smokiness is very, very background. And you said that's because y'all have it covered in the smoker. So it kind of keeps it from overpowering. Keeps it at bay.
It doesn't taste. It doesn't have that heavy smoke flavor, and the moisture staying in there with it being covered.
Very unbelievably good stuff. Okay, over to the green beans. The green bean casserole, which it gives very cheesy flavor to it.
Yeah.
But a lot of pop on the spice end.
Yeah.
A lot of pop on the spice end.
Yeah, you can taste the. Of course, we're a Cajun meat market, so we add that Louisiana Chris's Cajun seasoning to it, and it gives it that Louisiana pop that everybody loves.
And a little bit of sweetness from an onion.
Yes.
A little onion sweet on that one. The cornbread dressing by itself without the turkey, it pairs so well with the pork that's in it.
Yeah.
And like I said, as long as you're not drying it out, it's going to keep all the flavor. The sweetness of the cornbread combined with the pork makes for just
sweet
an
and
absolute,
savory.
yes, absolute masterful taste. And then I don't even need to talk about the candied yams. We've had you on with the candied yams before. For those that don't know, it's a dessert. You don't even need dessert when you eat this because between the marshmallow and the pecan and the brown sugar and everything that goes into the candied part, and the sweet potato end of this is so fluffy, like mashed up so well that it's poofy.
Yeah.
It's a very, very special combination. A+ across the board on all of it. He is Coben Linedecker with Chris's Specialty Foods, home base on Millerville on Highland Road, right across from Rufino's, up in Central. Give me the Central address again.
That is on Wax Road, right by the high school.
Wax Road, right by the high school, and of course, if you're down in New Orleans, they're in Lakeview as well. All 4 locations of Chris's can take care of anything you need for Thanksgiving and beyond. What was the deadline again to get the orders in?
The week before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So November 21st would be the deadline on that. And of course, whatever you need for the next home game, they've got you covered on that front as well. As football season rolls on, as the holidays roll in, make it easier on yourself. Just give them a shout. Coben, we always appreciate the time, man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
All right, Monday, we will talk with Janet. I believe we got Janet Simmons from Brett coming on. Scott Ballard from the LSU Board of Supervisors will be on. Of course, we'll have your Medical Monday. We'll have Will Green from Lobby, and we'll talk to Moon as well, who, by the way, is coming up next right here on Talk 107.3 FM. All right, guys, we're going to sign off real quick here on Facebook Live, and just want to check in one more time to, make sure y'all stayed on task today. It's a Friday. You can get distracted. I understand. But, all right. Yeah. All right. Have y'all been drinking? Oh, no, that was all from earlier. Never mind. Guys, y'all have a great weekend. We will see you all on Monday. Go see Coben. Make it easy on yourself this Thanksgiving. We'll see y'all.